Okay, so I don't know if you wanted to edit this or not and put this on your channel. You can. Actually, I can actually do that here.
There's no need to. Also, your microphone sounds a little distant.
How's that sound?
A little better.
It's weird.
It's okay.
For some other reason. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? Is that better?
Much better.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay. Because I was wondering what was going on with my input earlier, and the okay, I don't know if that's better or not. I had to go into my settings and mess with if that's too loud, let me know.
Not too loud at all. Coming clear, getting more clear, so it's good.
Hey, what's going on, sir? We just had a big long game session.
Yeah, I caught the end of it.
Hopefully we were enjoyable.
Yeah.
As much as I want to be enjoyable to my chat, I run a game for my players, and so I want their input. That's the input that I really want to make sure I score high on. They seem to be enjoying it so far. I asked them tonight, middle of the combat, like, are you guys enjoying the style of combat? And they're like, yeah, this is actually a lot more in depth than other style of games that are just like it's programmable. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
So I'm doing good with that. I'm happy. The effort I put into it, the desire I had when I started writing that system is actually coming forth. And I'm very happy. Very rarely do you have, like, I have a dream and, like, it actually fits the way you're supposed to have it.
Hey, it just took time. That's all. Plus, you're getting used to the system.
Yeah. I know that I need to search somewhere where I can figure out mastery and like high mastery, grand mastery stuff. I want to figure out exactly where and how quick people can actually like fire a bow. Like, I don't know if a compound bow is faster than a regular short bow. I need to probably study that. Needs more amphetamines, but that might be a me problem. Damn, autocorrect. Sleep. I need more sleep.
Pretty much.
I love having him in game because, like, not only is he a fun guy, he seems like he's for the limited time I've known him, and terms of like being a panelist and hearing him, seeing him, and such. Like, he seems like he's a really good, solid dude. Has had a lot of good life experiences, a few bad ones to help balance him out, and he's got a head on his shoulders that's level. You know how hard it is to find somebody that's level-headed. You know, in a gaming store, that's like fucking rare. So I feel very lucky. I've got a good gaming team on this. Not that I don't mind the other guys, but I wish that a couple of players in my other group would actually appreciate the fact we have a chat that wants to interact and wants to like root them on and help them win. But sometimes I don't get that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this group gets along really well. The way that, I don't know if it's the way the game is or the fact they're so like low level that they all seriously just seem to chip in and kind of help each other out. I don't know if that's just endemic to this table or if that's something that's just common with low power, low level groups, that you have like it's like they're not doing like superpower fastball specials, but like they're complementing each other the way I would want to see a party do that. Just makes it more efficient, it seems like.
Right.
I might be wrong. How was your week, or dare I ask? That's an honest question.
Just a lot of stupid. It's just an endless. It was 2 weeks of stupid, and I survived it with only minor mental damage. It was a good week. 2 weeks.
Okay. I'm going to take that at face value and be like, okay, it was a good 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to see it. I wanted to watch Table Breakers on Thursday, but I've yet to be able to get that in my digestive tract and haven't been able to sit down and watch it yet. Well, my biggest problem was today when I woke up, I saw Nerdrotic was on the unsubscribe stream, so I started watching that. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to get busy. And I haven't stopped since. I've been on camera since 12:30, so... And that might be my fault. I elected for that schedule. I'm okay with that. But I'm just saying that I saw a chance to watch. I was able to, oh, Carrie's on. Let me see what this is about. And I started really enjoying myself because they all seem to really complement each other. Not just like in terms of like, oh, you look very nice today, but like they were acting like the seasoned professionals of streaming and DJs that they are. From what little I watched, and I really enjoyed that.
Nothing wrong with that, honestly.
No, like I think they see each other on the internet. They're like, "Hey, good to see you on Twitter." Yep, you too. And like them all sitting down was kind of fun to watch, actually. Hey, as soon as I get my gambling skill the next level, that might all change. Let me be a dice a dick girl. Drink drunk. Ooh, bad. Hello, the crafting gamer. How you doing, sir? Did you have anything big or important pop up on Chymerion's Musings that you talked about or somebody responded to that you want to go through, dissect?
Honestly, the thing was until pretty much just yesterday and today, I have spent like the last 2 weeks thinking about things, writing a note saying, cover this, and then coming home and going, I'm too mentally tired, too dead, too exhausted to write anything, and then passing out, and then going, well, shit. And then I have, ideas go right out the window, and then repeat this day in, day out. I think I have like my half-hour lunch to myself, and then shit explodes, and people come bug me during my lunch shift, my lunch break, and I have to answer questions. Then I come back and go, what the fuck was I gonna write again? So my musings pretty much sat dead for 2 weeks, and I was like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not dead, I'm still here. And then I wrote a bunch of like the shit that I've been thinking about, on and off, because God, I'm back. Honestly, I'm due to scheduling conflicts. The role playing side of the shit that I do on Mondays went away. It's been scheduling errors for the last 2 semesters. Last semester and this semester, and it's just like, yay, might as well. And so all who still can make it are the wargaming crowd, and it's like, yay, I am playing Warhammer again. Yay. And it reminded me that while I like playing war games, I hate the box mentality of, no, this is the game. You play the game, nothing matters. No matter what you lose, it resets back to 0 as soon as you're done with the game. And nothing fucking matters. You can just do whatever the fuck you want because nothing has value. You're just sitting here to win the game. And I'm like, this is so unfun. Well, it's fun, but it teaches a sort of aggressiveness that is dumb, suicidal, and just retarded. Oh, I didn't say any of this during the actual club meeting, because it was just like when I was listening to the lesson being taught, which was simply I simply, you only have 4 turns to do anything, and if you waste a turn doing nothing, you're not scoring. You're not scoring hits, you're not scoring wounds, and you're wasting those points. You might as well get in there and murder. And I'm like, but you might lose. Like, if you spend a turn or two maneuvering to a better position, you could possibly, yeah. But we only got 4. The game only goes for 4 turns. You got to make sure you get in there, and the teacher is a former tournament player, like top-notch tournament player. So he's telling you how to play tournament style. And I know how to play that, but it's so...
It's why you went to garage games.
Right. It's why I went to garage games. It's why I prefer role-playing far better. It's why I prefer campaigns. Linked actual scenarios in a campaign where, if you don't fucking because when you play a pickup tournament game, if you lose 90% of your shit, but you have 10% surviving, but you hold the board, you win. But if you play that, but if I suddenly was to go, you only get back, say, a trickle back of 25% of your casualties, of your point value per game. Suddenly, if you lose more than 25, you're now at a detriment, and you're going to be going into a hole if you play with, I don't care about losing, whatever. I'm just throwing bodies into into the charnel pile, and I'm sitting here going, that's not how this works. In fact, I was like, we play Battlefleet Gothic, we play Victory at Sea, we play BattleTech, and BattleTech I am the hard asshole about no. You how many techs did you pay for? How much extra ammo and cargo did you pay for? Did you pay for the ride for all of your techs? Well, every mech bay has one tech, one master tech and one junior tech who's there, but they have a limitation on how many man hours they could put in each day on the before they pass out. Because so I'm like, do you oh no, it all gets repaired in between fights, and I'm like, no you motherfucker, no it does not. No, I did several servo hits to your legs, a gyro hit, and 2 engine hits. That shit don't get fixed instantly. And he's like, but that's how every game, no. That engine takes X amount of man hours to fix. Those motive hits, X amount of man hours to hit. Internal structure, X amount of time. Armor, X amount of time. Weapon damage, X amount of time. You do not get that free. And if I say it's 3 days till the next fight, how much can you band-aid in 3 days? Start doing the math. You've got severe damage on 5 mechs. Band-aid, bitch. Start working it. Work the math, work the numbers, figure out how many man hours you've got between your 5 techs and your 5 junior techs. How many hours can they put together, and can you get 1 or 2 up and running in 3 days and get it back on the fucking line? No, you can't? Well, guess what? It's now time to show you that your American football aggressive oorah style run up there and grab them by the collar and punch them in the dick and while they punch you back was probably the wrong answer, motherfucker. I'm going to show you that you can't play goddamn patent ball on board mission and game after game after game unless you've got a supply line and some logistics behind you. But I guarantee you, motherfucker, you didn't pay for any of that shit. Because I did. I paid for that logistics train. I'm paying the payroll for those guys. I am paying for those trucks and those ammo vehicles, those salvage trucks. I am paying for their food, shelter, and everything else because I want to have my shit running for Battle 2. in Battle 3, in Battle 4. You don't give a fuck. Oorah, motherfucker, charge him. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to beat you, and then I'm going to beat you again in 3 days, and then I'm going to beat you again in 3 more days, and I'm going to beat you again in 3 more days. By the time I'm done kicking you in the balls, you are going to be a battered, ruined wreck. And I don't care about how much you wish you could do math better. You fucking retard who didn't think about logistics or manpower or anything else other than pure fucking firepower. You goddamn aggressive cocksucking dick.
That's the thing that I absolutely hate about Warhammer, even Warhammer Fantasy. I kind of despise because the game only shows you the fucking actual battle itself. It never goes into logistics of war. It never goes into supply line. It never goes into morale on a fucking basis that would be necessary to field a 1,000-point army. And it always feels like this incomplete game.
It is.
Not that it couldn't be done, it can be done very easily, but the moment you start bringing this up to the fucking tournament tards, and that's what they fucking are. It's fucking the fucking tournament tards or fucking net fucking army list guys that are like, this is the best list I've ever ran. Well, you didn't make it, because let's look at your fucking cognitive facilities. You're Joe fucking Biden with a fucking job that gets you $78,000 a year, so you go out and buy every fucking thing you want for the game store. This is a little fucking town of 150,000 people, and you're the big fucking shit. But in all honesty, if you were to actually put your head into like what it would take to supply all 1,000 points of your orcs, or all 1,000 points of your Skaven, or all 1,000 points of whatever fork you're doing, you would find out that you would have to do a terrible Terry Allen fucking raid through Italy and Sicily and pray for no hostilities for 3 weeks to get yourself back in fighting shape.
I know. And the thing is, that's just the fun part of playing. That's why, it's just one of those things where it's like I watch players who are being taught how to play. Like, I know this is how to play the game. A pickup game is a game where it doesn't matter. As soon as you're done, you throw it away. But the thing here is that I had to sit back and I'm going, but when we play up, okay, a pickup game of 40K doesn't bother me. It's like, okay, we're just throwing some dudes on a field. You know, you're a small part of a big army. Same thing with 28 millimeter bolt action, or gameplay, or so, whatever small tactics game we're playing. The problem here is that when we start going up into bigger toys, when BattleTech comes into mind, Alpha Strike allows you to play a bigger scale, company on company mech fights quickly and easily. So you guys start getting battalion fights done in a day. You got two good players playing, and things die quick, and it's harsh. But then again, we go and play a little bit of Victory at Sea, and suddenly, oh hey, we're starting to throw like the shit we're starting to throw at each other is starting to become big, very big ships. It's tin cans, it's cruisers, it's battleships, it's carriers. We're having fun playing this game, and it's fun. But then I got to remind people, okay, you won the fight, but did you really? Because that ship is probably going to have, and start explaining things and going, oh, you probably shouldn't have done that. Or you won, and that's good for a pickup game, but think in terms of a campaign. Or if we're playing a game of, say, Battlefield Gothic, fuck it, who cares? That game's it's 40K in space, no one cares a shit. But then we play a round of Starfleet battles, and then I watch people go, that heavy cruiser that heavy cruiser you just blew up, sorry, that you just wrecked because you wanted to, is going to be in dry dock for the next 6 months to a year to get overhauled before it will come back out and do something again. And it'll probably come out in a whole new variant refit because, well, shit, you brought it back, and now we're going to fuck with it because it's Starfleet battles, because in that, it's like when you read the lore in that universe, every time a heavy cruiser gets wrecked and comes back into port, or into in a dry dock for a refit, repair, and overhaul, it comes out and says some kind of weird mutant hybrid variant where it's like, well, we just threw some like it lost its photons. We just threw some plasma S's on it. Okay, it's like, yeah, that cruiser came in, we fucked with it, and now it's a carrier because okay, or yeah, it got fucked really bad, and we turned it into a drone bombardment cruiser.
Hey,
Oh,
so
okay.
how do I sound?
Was that
How do I sound?
a little better?
Okay, so because Crafting said a few minutes ago, I'm muffled, echoey, and loud at the same time.
It was kind of there, but I was understanding you. But yeah,
My bad.
but it's just one of those things where it's like trying to explain to people, hey, I know we're playing a pickup game and that it really doesn't matter, but try to make your decisions as though it actually does matter. Like you actually care about the fact that the people who are on this thing, they don't exist. They never will exist. But act like they kind of actually do, and that you kind of want the ship to come back, right? You kind of want to. It's kind of important. Please don't wreck it. That's what the Admiralty is telling you. Please don't wreck this. This is years of work and resources and years of training that you're about to go drive in a straight line into that Klingon battle cruiser. Motherfucker. Okay. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. It's on fire now. And well, I won. Yeah, with like three center hull left intact, one aft hull, two forward hull, and three phaser threes still functioning. But you won. Congratulations. And it lit back on 2 warp power. Yes, you won this fight, old boy, and your crew strength is currently at 2 points above skeleton crew. You won. Congratulations. Hey, we still have a teleporter? I'm sorry. I didn't kill that during the Phaser 2 bombardment that I decided to inflict. But I killed 2 D6Ds. Yes, you did. Congratulations. But you also lost. I lost your new light cruiser escort. That's currently tumbling off into the distance like it's a bad, like a bad Miranda extra from DS9. Where it probably exploded. But that's okay. You won you won the match. Yeah, I did. No, you didn't. You did, but you could have done better. You could have done a lot better. But you don't care because there's a reset button you just hit and everything goes back to you grab your alcohol, your water, you clean off your sheet, and you're like, I'm ready for another round. And it's like, no, this is boring. This is terrible. We're both dead.
Wow. I never thought I'd see robot jocks on my channel. I never thought I'd see robot jocks on my channel.
I love that movie. It's so. And I guess it's just the one thing I've just been like, it's reminding me why I don't like playing war games. I'm good at them. Well, I'm not the best, but I'm not bad. And I can play, it's like, because as I was trying to tell one of the kids who's young, it's like, all you gotta do is figure out, it's like, you don't have to be the best. You just gotta be better than 80% of the people who play. And he's like, huh? He gives his confused look. And I'm like, most people only care about your win rate. How often do you win? They don't care about, like, yeah, you're gonna lose. But if you can beat 65, 70% of the people out there, your win rate's going to look amazing, and everyone's going to think you're a genius because you beat up the average person. And my teacher buddy is sitting here looking at me like, okay, keep talking. And I'm like, well, yeah, realize that most people who play every game doesn't think very hard. They don't think very far ahead, and they're overly aggressive. Like, they are super aggressive on turn 1, turn 2. They charge into you. it's what I always refer to as the American football mentality, where you just charge the fuck in, you do as much as you can first, second turn, and if you can just figure out how to outlast them bum rushing you like a bunch of fucking testosterone and mental rejects, you can counter, beat them up, and leave them wandering on the ground going, what happened to me? I literally figured out, I literally just know how that you're going to charge me on turn 1, you're going to charge me on turn 2. If I could just figure out how to move backwards 2 turns and shoot you, exhaust you, and then leave you bleeding on the ground so I can just counterattack and beat the shit out of you, I have now beaten approximately 65-70% of everybody who plays any kind of board game, you beat, like, once you get the basic rules, you figure out how to survive to turn 3, you win. And I go, oh no, you meet the one player who's actually good and he gives you a challenge, and you walk and you go, finally, a worthy opponent. You want to play again? And now you can pull out all your tricks and think again, because you're not playing against the dumb fucks endlessly. And it's kids like, okay. I'm like, what you're gonna learn now is the shit you're gonna take off to go play at conventions and tournaments and at game stores, because everybody there is a bunch of fucking alpha wannabe big diggers who want to come out there and prove how good they are by beating the shit out of you, by being super duper aggressive, by using the most munchkin tactics. Figure out how to literally just beat up the munchkins, beat up the oorah aggressive motherfuckers, and then you'll be that guy who, man, he's so good. No, you're not. You just know how to walk backwards for 6 seconds. That's all you know how to do. 6 seconds, like 12 seconds of walking backwards, and then walk forwards. And that confuses the fuck, because you didn't go charging in like a big oorah motherfucker who wants to go running in there and punch and stuff. Instead of just doing what everybody wants you to do, which is charge straight into each other's faces and then punch each other in the noses like a bunch of fucking retards, you just go backwards, let them exhaust themselves, and then do it twice, and then go forward, and then they're tired, and you're not, and you beat them up, and they just go, how do I always lose? Because you're predictable. And this is why I really hate the idea of the fixed border game where if you leave the map, you auto lose. Bullshit. I give up 10 feet and I lose? Yes. Dumb. Fucking dumb. If I want to fall back for 10, for X amount of time to make you uncomfortable and off balanced and stretched out, and then beat the shit out of you, I should be allowed to. Well, that isn't fair to the people who are playing the big dumb strategies. I don't want to be fair. Fighting's not fair. What the fuck? Like, you're cheating. No, I'm not. I'm trying. And that sounds like cheating to you. Fuck you.
See, my biggest problem with Warhammer is that it always, I guess any war game does this, but it always resets. It goes back to this zero starting point. It doesn't figure in like there's been, a history of warfare in this area. And like Necromunda might be the closest that 40K ever got to like quote unquote realism, because there's a lot of times you pick up a weapon where it doesn't quite work the way it's supposed to. Things are half-ass broke damn near all the time.
Yeah.
If I remember right, like it's not like I picked up this last pistol and it's fucking out of the box, shiny and new. No, it's not. It's actually like really fucking busted.
Also, I love that game because it allowed, if you lost models, you rolled to see if they died or not. It's like, or were they wounded? Are they like how long will they be out of the fight? Did you pick up a new gun, or did shit break, explode? Yeah, you might like. It allowed you to build a gang and have the gang actually be interesting.
Yeah,
and like that made the game fun. We don't get fun in most in most pickup games, which is why I'm like suddenly a different group is like, hey, we're starting a Traveler campaign. You want to go play Traveler instead of playing war games? And I'm like, hey guys, I know I've been part of this club for the last decade, and we're not doing the role playing part. We're back to the wargaming aspect, and I kind of don't. I'm kind of not here for that. Um, every other week they're going to be playing Traveler over at our local game store, so I'm going to go and play, a space hobo, traveling between space Howard Johnsons and enjoying my time being a whatever the fuck I roll up because I haven't rolled my character yet, and that's Monday. I'm gonna go sit down. I'm gonna chat with the GM, sit down, roll a character, and hope I don't roll bad. But if I do roll bad, oh fuck it, whatever. I'm playing a space hobo, and I'm just part of the team.
Did you go out to set out to make a space hobo? When you heard the opportunity to where we have big dumb American football war game, or you have the opportunity to step into a 24th century sci-fi game that may or may not be reflective of the politics on Earth in 2024. In fact, it may be reflective of the politics on Earth in 1978 or 1982.
Hey, if I get a chance to play a Sword World Confederacy, some ex-Imperial Navy D&D junkie in space, I will. I'm gonna play that, or I'm gonna play an angry kitty cat, or a wolf, or just a hobo, or just a space hobo with, I, or it's like I'm gonna go in with the idea that I'm gonna play a hobo, and if the game and the game lets me play better, I'll play better, and I'll be like, awesome, I'm not playing a hobo. This guy might actually not suck, but probably will because my dice rolls. And I'm going to enjoy learning a whole new group of people who I don't know, and we're going to have fun playing Traveler. Because I was whining at the store that I don't have a group right now, and somebody's like, "We're starting a Traveler game," and I'm like, "I'm here. I'm there. I'm gonna play." Like, when was the last time you played Traveler? A serious, legitimate campaign? Early 2000s. So it's been a while for you? Yes. Is the new rule book good? Yes, they're playing with the new rule book. I'm going to go buy it now. And then I show back and go, I know I'm about to do something that I'm going to regret buying a new copy of Traveler. Because now I have a new role-playing game to play. That's not it's Mongoose Second Edition. I don't care. It's in print. I'm gonna go play it. And it's going to be fun because it's full of a bunch of old fucking people, and we're not playing D&D or a D&D derivative. There's no magical fucking bullshit. There's no elves. There's no fucking wiggly finger wizard shit. There's just simply, I'm on a ship. It does jump too. We're gonna go into the wild black yonder, and we're going to go see whatever the fuck the GM throws at us, and we're going to have fun. I hope. If not, I can leave. But hey, it's something. And it's something different, something new. Yeah, I would like to play some BattleTech again. And I'll keep going to the games, to the school to go with the offhand chance that maybe we won't play Warhammer for a while, and maybe we'll play some of the other games we got. And that would be cool because I won't say no to pushing a battleship around a map for a while. I won't say no to pushing a big giant mech around the map for a while. But if given the option of role play or war game, I'm going to role play every day of the week. Even though the fact that I tend to usually play, something military oriented, but I'm going to go back to, because that's where all the big guns, big toys, and that's how you don't die really fast comes from. I'm probably going to go back and go, you know what? I'm going to play a space hobo who beats the warp drive with a wrench, and then wonders why someone threw a ladder into the fuel tank. Because, God damn it, The dock workers are retarded. Don't care. We're having fun. God, why did we hear something that was banging inside the gas tank for approximately a week while we were in jump space? Doc, let a ladder in the fuel tank. Fuck. Okay. Shit like that. I want to do that. That sounds like fun. And it's like, and it doesn't involve I'm playing a fighter. I'm playing a cleric. We need a healer. I said I was playing a cleric. No. We know you're going to play a healer. You're going to play a battle cleric. Yeah, it's because I'm the best character. I'm the best class in the game. I know. You're better than the paladin. Sure the fuck am. Yeah, I know. And we all just kind of sit back and go, yay, another round of this shit. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm sitting back and I'm just tired of shit. Well, I don't want to say I'm tired of shit.
I would like to see you get a chance to play more Exalted. But
God.
I don't know anybody that, except for Garrett, that's ran Exalted in the last 2 years.
Okay. I'm on like several Discords full of Exalted players, and we talk a lot of Exalted. We have a lot of fun with Exalted. The setting is fantastic. We all have our wonderful things, but it's like, hey, does anyone want to actually play Exalted? Oh, everyone's in a group, but all the groups are full. So it's like, hey, I will continue to talk about how much I love Exalted, and then we'll have the people who go, and then I'm on a wonderful Discord full of the wonderful world of Mage the Ascension players, and then you realize there's not many of us, and we're all too busy to play. But we'll talk shop. And that's when I realized Mage the Ascension is full of a bunch of people who just talk shop. And we talk about how awesome the world is and how much fun it could be, figuring out new ways to break the magic system, because creativity is the ultimate thing about that game. And boy, are we all creative. And we all want to find new ways to interpret. So what does Matter 3 really do? What can I get away with? And when everyone's like, everything. You can get away with everything. But I have entropy. Just sounds like entropy is the most powerful thing in the universe. But didn't you just say matter was? Matter is also the most powerful thing. But what about time? Time is also the most powerful thing in the universe. Do not combine these three. Why? You just win. You win everything. At starting character, you've already won. But there's 2 more ranks beyond that. You'll never see those. You can already bend reality at starting character. Why go farther? Oh yeah, you're right. I'm already amazing at start. But it can get better. Oh yeah, it can get better. But you'll never see it. Oh, you're right. So we're all gonna talk about how awesome we love magic, and then we look at somebody else who goes, I can cast Wish, and we all go, that's nice, Junior. Go back over here. Wish can do anything. So can play a game where you get more creativity than here's your spell in a box, man. Here's your note card pre-canned magic. No, do something fun with magic. Well, I can be creative with Fireball. So can I. I can do certain combinations and I can make fun things happen. But you know what I would rather do? What's that? I literally know where all the police are. What? I've worked several things together, mixing life and entropy, and I know where all the cops are. So why do you need to know that? Because I'm about to do this. What? I snapped my fingers. What just happened? Every light in the city just turned red. What? Yes, all of them. Won't that screw things up? Traffic is now stopped. The police can't get anywhere. Why? The lights aren't changing. There's no lights. Everyone stopped. Traffic stopped. The entire city's locked up. So what's that mean? We've got a half hour to do whatever the fuck we want. Why? Because there's going to be absolutely nobody who can get to us. Oh. Yeah. The cops know we're here, but the cops can't get here. Oh, by the way, I've also jammed all the radios. You can do that? I can do that. within a 4-mile radius of me, there's no radio works, no radar works. I have fucked it. Is this a first level character? Is this a starting character ability? Yes. Yes, this is starting character shit. Oh. Oh, we get better from here? Yes. We get a lot better from here. This gets really creepy. Yeah, I know. You haven't thought about this, have you? I haven't thought about this at all. You should. And now you're going to go back to going to play. Going back to playing D&D, where someone goes, I'm a wizard. I cast artillery. I'm the artillery piece. I can throw a 20-foot radius fireball.
Hey, Khy,
Yeah.
I got a question from 6 Nation 31 Kings. He's like, I almost want to bring this guy in and have him as a third seat, because I think he needs to be able to have question answer, and that's kind of what I want to do, because you could explain Exalted to him a hell of a lot better than I can. If I explain it, it comes out like dirt speak, but if you explain it, you can kind of go down through all the various rabbit holes and bunny trails, and I think Exalted kind of scratches an itch a lot of people don't realize they've got.
Okay, the thing about Exalted is that at first glance it sounds overwhelming and insane, because it literally is it is. It's hard to frame. For those of you who really are like big comic book or cartoon or anime fans or novel readers, Exalted is that. Like it is high fantasy where you turn the number to 11. It can be as grungy and like it's got its ability to play low level grunge, trying to survive in a horrible world, because it is a horrible world. But it's a world of wonders. Like this isn't Conan the Barbarian, you're wandering around through Dragonlance. Dragonlance is like Dragonlance could probably fit into one of the 100 kingdoms, in the east, and you'd be able to throw it there, and everyone just kind of go, "Oh, that's cool." But I ride a dragon and I have a lance that shoots lasers, and people go, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah, we got that too. We got things that are like that, but that's my most coolest thing I can possibly do. No, it's cool. No, you're good. The thing here is that what Exalted really is that it's a game where it is over the top. It's energetic. It's the idea that it isn't just sitting there and like you can build a character almost however you want to build it, especially have a GM who will let you play into almost anything if they're willing to give you the room and the energy to be able to play it. So most people play Exalted and they play Solars because they're the most powerful characters, but they have the most things against them. Because a lot of them sound like they're overpowered. Like, holy shit, how could anyone stop them? And then you realize there's not many of you. There's if you play an Exalted and you're playing a Solar, the world hates you. You automatically are enemy number one on the most wanted kill list. There are people who want to help you, but a lot of people are ignorant. They're afraid of you, or there's people who remember who you used to be in your previous life and go, I know what you can do, because every type of Exalted character or has a curse. There's a flaw. There's a defect in your personality that will drive you insane. It doesn't matter. Eventually, you will fall. There's just you can fight it, and some people can fight it for centuries or millennia. You could fight it. You could keep fighting it, or you could slip and fall. The whole thing is that it's all about how you role play. If you take the easy way out, you might fall faster. If you resist, if you're obstinate, and the thing is that when you start the game, you have to take the flaw. It's in the character, and how you build the character gives you the flaw that you're going to have. So, because you have these 4 virtues, and you want them to be, you want to have at least 1 or 2, almost required, to be high. Like, and whichever one's the highest is your flaw. Low, people can target that and manipulate you or scare you or whatever it is, and that's your weakness. But the flaw is actually your highest strength. So whichever one that, like, I'm the bravest of the brave. Okay, your flaw, the flaw that you have revolves around that. I'm a compassionate soul who loves everyone, and your flaw will reflect that. It's one of those things where it's like, I love everyone, so you're compassionate. Yes, when you have your limit break, when you have when the curse manifests, you turn to another hen, and you become overprotective. You don't let anyone have free will, and it's like, because you're protecting them, you love them, and there's all of these ways to do it. The thing is that you can go over the top. So if you want to play a character who's like, I want to be able to use my sword and block orbital strikes from lasers from heaven, you can build towards that. That's an actual freaking ability. And there's multiple ways to do it. Like, I want to be a shape-changing furry. You can do that. But just remember, eventually you're going to lose your soul to that. You're going to lose your humanity and become a monster and become an animal. And it's like, oh, so how, do you embrace the power of the beast and the animals, or do you stay human? Fight that. I manipulate time, fate, and reality. Nobody knows you exist. I'm just a Power Ranger. You're the weakest of them all, but you function as a team. You are you have to cooperate with other people, because if you don't, everybody else is going to beat you senseless. So you can't be a loner. You have to be part of a team. But their entire faction is, none of us like each other, so we don't cooperate. But we need to, because if we don't, we lose to the werewolves and the vampires and the solar creatures and the demons. And there's so much of it out there, and it all wants to kill you. And then the new version and the new 3rd edition of the game introduces newer aspects that now throw even more kinks into the games. Now it's like, oh, and now we have creatures who want to unwrite the world because they come from failed alternate universes, and they hate the fact that this world is the one that actually is working, and they want to go, but why didn't my world get to live? Because your world failed. I don't want it to fail. I didn't want it to fail. I lived, bitches. And oh no, the Continuans are fucking awesome. And there's other weird, cool things. And there's, necromancy isn't a thing, but it is. And suddenly you're like, oh, wait, this is creepy. And like, yeah, there's a lot of creep out there. There's a lot of weirdness out there. There's a lot of gods out there. It's a fantastic setting that can be as militant as you want it to be, as combat heavy as you want it to be, as magical as you want it to be. And then there's other things that are all gnawing at it. There's fairies that are actually scary, dragons that are actually dragons, and not just simply, I'm a big scary lizard dragon. It's like, no, these are dragons who control, the world type shit. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, hey, my best friend's an elemental, and I made him really cool, and now he became a dragon, and he likes me. Awesome. And like weird shit like that. Or I love the game, and because it's got so much potential to. It's superheroes. If you didn't need to have a die-hard, guaranteed, good versus evil, hero villain dynamic. It's simply the world is huge. You have powers. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be within the framework they're giving you. But from there, you can grow into almost anything if you put your effort in. So it's like, and if somebody goes, I have an idea, I can probably help you build a character who will give you exactly what you want. Like, it's like, but this, like, I have no idea. Nobody who plays Exalted has a clue what they're doing when they first get into the game, and it's a fantastic setting. It's a fantastic game. I know Garrett's like, I like first edition. Congratulations, game is fun. I like first edition too, but I like second edition, which is the edgy edition. Boy, is it fucking edgy. God, it's White Wolf. What did you expect? And then a bunch of people who I would call who kept playing the game but were more storyteller focused went, this game's got problems, and then rewrote it and took some of the fun out of the world, but they made the game better. And it's actually a better game engine. Surprisingly and shockingly. Do I agree with all their choices? No. But I can take whatever choices they had and throw it in a dumpster and go, no, I'm going to still keep the edgy version of second edition and just use third edition rules. Because fuck it, the world is far cooler than the downgraded. I like the over-the-top craziness of second edition over the more toned down third, because third edition goes, maybe we don't need to have all the giant Gundams and flying airships that shoot laser beams and disintegrate countrysides. We don't need to have all that. And I'm like, what? You mean I don't get to have my 80-foot tall fire breathing death robot? Nah, I want that. I want giant lizards who eat cheese and then rewrite the heavens, because I want that, and they exist. I want those. I want fairies who unmake reality. I want a giant transformer planet that flies through the warp and is full of robot people, because because I love that. That's crazy and dumb, and I love it. I want a crazy sex mad queen, 300-year-old queen bitch of the universe who rules from a tower, and because she has the ability to push a button and unleash elemental horror upon anybody who even makes her angry that day, because she has control of the realm defense grid. And it's like, everyone's like, Scarlet Empress, we're sorry, but we need to inform you that something bad has happened about approximately half a world away. And she's like, how bad? This bad. I don't like that. Hits a button on her throne, and Montana explodes in lava, because she could do that. And the rest of the world goes, oh fuck, she melted Montana. Don't worry, no one's going to miss it. And and her empire is ruled because she gets to sit there and go, you know what? I have PMS today. I'm going to kill New York. The city? No, the state. And Old York too, because fuck you. Boom. But don't worry, she's been gone. She disappeared about 10 years ago, and the entire world's wondering, where is she? Is she going to come back? Yes. When? I no clue. Can someone else use the defense grid? Yeah, maybe. No one wants to risk it because it kills everybody who tries. Oh, that sounds terrible. Yeah, but and we go, but we're not telling anybody in the rest of the world that she's gone. Aren't they like wondering why Montana hasn't exploded in the last 10 years? No. And as far as we know, no, she's been happy for the last 10 years, and no one's going to find out. If you tell anybody, we'll kill you. Okay. I mean, the rest of the world, we are all living in terror of the Scarlet Empress. One day, she's going to rain death upon us, but she hasn't. Maybe we're okay. But we're all in the back of our heads going, one day she's going to come back and kill us all. It'll be beautiful. Hello!
Keto Simple. I've got a new job, and so I usually have to be. I wake up at midnight and I go to work at 2 in the morning, and I work until about 2 in the afternoon on average. Sometimes till 4, but mostly 2:30, and I'm not able to stream as much as I used to. So Saturday is a stream day unless I've got other things I've got to do. But miss you guys, and I need to listen to the stream we had Tuesday because that was a fun stream to be on. The Toxic Tuesday. I'm doing the same job I was doing before, but I work 60 hours a week now, average. I did 62 my first week and 60 my second week. This is Keto Simple. He's got a channel dedicated to living a little healthier. He's got some really good menu stuff. If you like doing a lot of chicken fingers fried at the house, he's got a really good recipe. He uses a little bit of like pork. What do you call those? The pork rinds. He crushes that, and he gets the material that pork rinds are made out of, and he uses that, and it really comes out super healthy compared to like most others. Okay. My before annual take was about 52K a year, and right now I'm at about 85. So I think it's a level up. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's going to matter much with this inflation. We'll look forward to it. We'll look forward to seeing how I do, and if it's not, he's filming a chicken nugget recipe tomorrow, so I gotta post this guy's link in here. Go ahead, Khy. While I finish out Keto Simple's link, please. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, my friend.
No, it's okay. Honestly, when it comes to Exalted, I could talk for hours and I would still be inferior to the people who are into it more than I am. The moment I find out I'm going to play a game, I will break out the massive piles of lore and books I've got, and then study what I'm supposed to study to learn the aspect and the cast that I'm going to play. But I'm honestly, I read so much about too much other stuff that I can't remember everything. I can give you a great overview, but I need to research. I need to do research, and there are certain people who I would be able to, talk forever because it's it's a fun setting, it's a fun game, and watching one of my players figure out how to make I God, an alchemical, the robot people, actually be awesome, and then continue to play that character for a long time. And yeah, getting to watch them actually playing they're playing a transformer at this point, and not just simply, I'm just some weird sadistic, I'm playing some weird, like, no, they're actually going, no, I put some actual thought and logic into this, and I'm actually playing a full-on proper. My lifespan is so long, it doesn't even matter to, like, the elves are going, how long do you live? And he's like, yes, I live, yes, amount of years. And it's like, and if we kill you, I will probably be angry that you blew up the body that I'm inhabiting, and I will get back to you with revenge. And I'm like, this is such a fun concept, and he's really embraced the idea that he's playing something just different. And as somebody who has enjoyed role play, I have the Transformers role playing game, and then have it. I was sitting here talking to him, and he's like, "Can I make my alchemical character in Transformers?" And I'm like, "Yes, you can." In fact, we might just do that one day if we can find more people to play Transformers. And it's like, what kind of story the fuck are we gonna tell? And I'm like, I don't know. Which faction are you siding with? And he's like, what time period are we playing? And I'm like, probably in War 4 or Fall of Cybertron. He goes, he's like, so Prime Universe, before the arc leaves. And I'm like, yes. And he's like, oh, excuse me, I gotta start thinking of a character. And I'm like, God, I wish I could be playing this, because I know what he's going to play. I know what he's going to make, and he's going to make an Autobot version of fucking Tidal Wave or Metroplex. He's going to play fucking that, and I'm going to be like, fuck yes, because he has that mentality of no, I want to be the fucking person who stands there and is the last line of defense, when the Ark is being loaded for its evacuation flight off Cybertron. He wants to be the person who's like, no, I don't want Omega Supreme and Metroplex to be left fucking alone guarding the Ark during its final moments. I want to also be playing a character who's too big to go on the Ark, and I want to punch Shipicon in the face. And I'm like, fuck yes! When he's literally going, I want to go punch, the Decepticon Godzilla in the face and buy time. And I'm like, that's your entire concept? Just, yes, I want to do that. And I'm like, fuck yes! You got goals. And he's like, yes, I want this. And I'm like, I need more people who want to play this kind of crazy. And I'm like, God, yes, Decepticon would be fucking awesome. And if I had a player who's like, yeah, I want to play one of those, fuck yes. And the idea is like, hey, we're gonna for Adventure 1, Session 1, Adventure 1 is the fall of Cybertron. It's the evacuation of the Ark. It's Nemesis is gonna chase it. You're not sorry guys, you're not the Gen 1 bots. You're not going on the Ark. Figure out what you're going to do after it escapes. And have some fun, and then we'll fast forward. Give me a brief overview of what the fuck you were doing for the millions of years that Cybertron's being currently run by my favorite character, Shockwave, because Soundwave and Megatron are off planet. He's running the whole planet. The planet's dying. What did you do to survive until the 1980s? When everybody wakes up and contact is reestablished, when you can be brought into the Gen 1 era. No, we might make it to the distant future of the Transformers movie, which will hopefully end differently, because I'm not running that fucking sequence. But hey, who knows? And then I want to see my players figure out, and knowing some of them, if one of them goes, I'm playing literally Tidal Wave, but an Autobot. So it's so what did you guys all do? We left the other direction. When the Ark escaped, we did our job. Now we run, and we go off into the war, into the greater galaxy, and we go find our own way. I was so we're going to be playing Transformers Energon? Yes. And I'm like, sweet, we're going to play with all the various universes. We're going to go into Crazy Land, and it's going to be fun because we like Japanese Transformers. Fuck yes. And it's going to be fun because we like the idea that the universe is millions of years old and it's full of robots. And you know what? If they punch Sharkticons and beat up Quintessons all fucking day long, hell yes. It's so is it mostly going to be Transformers Prime, or are we going to be also doing some Transformers, the Unicron trilogy, and I'm like, a little bit of the Unicron trilogy, a little bit of the Prime timeline, a little bit of the Transformers animated, because I really, really like that version of Megatron a lot. And I liked that version of Blitzwing a lot. And it's we're going to just have some fun, and we're just going to...
So few times I hear people talk about Blitzwing. You understand, you're like one of 3 people that I know that are fucking Transformers fans or fanatics. And that's something that you can make a Blitzwing a lot. Do you realize that?
Yes.
Okay.
Blitzwing's one of my favorite characters. I can't help it. Depending on which version of him, he's either dumb or he's crazy. And I love the comic book version of him where you can find out that he's crazy because he's been mutated and experimented on. I like the comic book version of him. I like the IDW version of him. I like the animated version of him. I like the Gen 1 one's okay. I mean, I'm sorry, he got cursed with with 2 horrible alt modes. I mean, he's a fucking MiG-25 and a T-55. I mean, he's trying. He's handicapped, but he's trying. I like the animated version of him where he's kind of, he's a crazy German. He's either very cold and analytical, he's very rage-induced, or he's just an insane, but he's still German in all 3 versions, and he turns into a really cool jet or a really cool tank. And fuck yeah, he's awesome. I don't care. He's my, like, yeah, I know. People are like, Astro Train's the best of the triple changers, and I'm like going, heretic, take that back. Like, what are you gonna do? Say it's Octane? I'm like, yeah, I know. 747 gas tanker, yeah, not that cool. But Tank Fireblade, he's Russian. Both versions are Russian. I prefer his German version. Thank you very much. But it's like, and I know nobody picks him as their favorite because it's like, well, I got so many other characters who are way more cooler than him. Fuck off. He's the best of the support characters because he actually gets shit done 1/3 of the time. And I'm sorry. It's like, I'm a Transformers fan. I've watched a lot of it. I can't quote it like some Transformers fans. I'm not that insane.
It's okay. I love the first gen Transformers, which is all I've ever watched. Up until War for Cybertron, there's like 5 episodes that I saw, and I thought that was fucking gold.
Yeah.
And I did see the Transformers 1986 movie, and then I saw the first. I'm admitting to seeing the first 3 Transformers live action films, and the last 2 I'm not admitting to that because I felt like they were complete fucking wastes of time. And I hate to say that.
Now the thing here is that I'm that person who's like, yeah, I followed through Gen 2. I followed through Beast Wars and Beast Machine.
What's Gen 2?
Gen 2 was their attempt to relaunch the Transformers line with new models and new things. It was kind of where the Americans tried to bypass the headmasters that were coming out of Japan, and they tried to relaunch it. But by then, the kids have moved on. Line dies. Marvel it tries to keep it going for a little while longer, and it kind of peters out. And then about a few years later, you get the arrival of Beast Wars, which everyone's like, huh? Transformers Beast Wars, and it's like weird as fuck, and you're like, I don't know what I'm watching, and then you sit down and watch it, and you're like, wait a moment, this is, because at first you're sitting here going, okay, so a bunch of animal Transformers crash on an alien planet, and it seems weird, and then you find out that, no, it's Earth. Oh, when? After the Ark and after Nemesis crash, but before they wake up. So it's in this, and as the show proceeds on, because you're like, this planet has 2 moons. It can't be Earth, until the season 1 finale happens, and you find out, no, one of the moons was a super weapon being left behind by ancients. And when it activated and it tried to scour all the life off the planet, it was destroyed, and it left 1 moon. And then suddenly everyone went, oh, wait. One moment. Hey, somebody get a satellite view of this planet now that it only has 1 moon, and the planet has been racked by this super weapon. And they all went, oh, fuck. We're actually on Earth. When? Because they're from the future. And there was some time travel shenanigans and some explosions that threw them back in time. And then they find out, oh, wait, this is actually Earth. and then they have some more adventures, and then they, but they're unsure what's going on here, and you find out that the Megatron of Beast Wars is actually named himself after the greatest Decepticon warlord, aka Gen 1 Megatron, and he's been following an ancient plan that was actually encoded by Megatron in the past, when the idea that in the event that we Decepticons lose, which they did, and they lost, that there would be a redemption plan, a failsafe that needs to be taken care of. And most of the Decepticons who were left over after the end of the Great War decided to go, no, we like the peace of the after war. We have no idea. We have no desire to follow Megatron's plan. Megatron's gone. Megatron's dead. Galvatron was too crazy, and we like the Great Peace. We have no desire to follow his madness any further, except for this one Decepticon who's now a Predacon, who goes, I still believe in the great vision of Megatron. I'm going to go do the plan, and that's when he went back in time, and it's all leading up to, oh hell, there's the Ark. We've uncovered it, and it's millions of years. It's about 1 million years too early. It's about 500,000 years too early, and you're like, wait a second, what? And you get to see this great sequence where Beast Wars Megatron is walking through the Ark. He's tiny. He is this tiny little bot, and compared to these gigantic Gen 1 Transformers, and they're all laying on the ground in the positions that they were left in the first episode of the Gen 1 series.
Yeah. And when the fucking Ark crash landed and there's a fucking fight going on. Yes.
They're all in stasis sleep, waiting, and he's even here giving a speech going, look at all you look at all of you sleeping and waiting for the wake up in 1983, when you will wake up and restart the Great War. And here I am looking at you, and he's having this dramatic speech. It's an amazingly, the voice actor who's voicing him is just hamming it up. He is
who is this? What episode is this again? Beast Wars?
Beast Wars. Let me find the exact episode. Episodes. Oh God, it's a fantastic. Sorry, it's been a while. I can't just tell you the names of the episodes off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I'm not that kind of a. You were looking for the agenda part. The agenda part 3, and it's Megatron getting ready to steal Optimus Prime's soul, the original Optimus Prime soul, like right there and then and there, and how he's going to if he kills Optimus Prime here and now, he can change history and wipe out all the victories of the heroes in one fell swoop. And that's how season 2 ends. It's a beautiful moment. Let me see if I can actually find it. I can
our crashed Cybertronian ship containing the offline bodies of the greatest Autobot and Decepticon warriors who will reawaken and renew the Great War on Earth in 4 million years. Megatron arrives, seals the cave entrance, and shoots Silverbolt, forcing Black Arachnia to give up the Ark's access codes to save him. The Maximals arrive and frantically start digging as Megatron enters the Ark and finds the corpse of Optimus Prime, legendary Supreme Commander of the Autobots. With one final grandiose speech glorifying the Decepticons and Predacons, Megatron kills Optimus Prime and creates a temporal storm that erases the Maximals from existence.
Yep, that's how it ends, and it's such a cool for a cliffhanger to end a season. You're like, wait, what? that's how you're going to end this season? Holy shit. Watching it the first time, as it was being aired, that was like, this show went from to okay. Now we're, and they even make like, and the show makes great jokes at itself and at its own universe, because when they're fighting the on the edge of the arc, they actually reactivate parts of the arc's defenses from Gen 1. Those drop down laser cannons.
Yep.
That hold off the Decepticons in Gen 1. And they're complaining about, like, our blasters don't do anything, and the new Optimus looks at him and goes, "Yeah, die-cast construction. It's a lost art."
Wow.
Yes. That's these are it makes groaner jokes that are just perfect if you're a Transformers fan. And I'm like, yes. And the best part is, yes, it moves on from that sequence. And then the next season is just them trying to figure out how to hold off and save the timeline, and when and you get to see Nemesis, the Decepticon flagship, in the season finale for season 3, in all of its glory and all of its firepower from episode 1 of Gen 1. And when it ends, when it all ends, the Nemesis crashes in the ocean like it's supposed to. The Ark is reburied back under the volcano the way it's supposed to be, and it will be forgotten about until it's supposed to wake up. Everything is put back where it's supposed to be, and you're sitting here going, "This is awesome," and it's like, there's so much shit going on, and you're sitting going, "This is a good show." Beast Machine's not so much, but Beast Wars was. The animation is weird and outdated. It's primitive. It's late 90s animation quality. So don't expect wonders. But the story makes up for it.
I'm really expecting first edition PlayStation CGI.
It's a hair better than that, but not really. I mean, it's PS2 era. It's solid PS2 era. But it's a good that show came out and said Transformers can actually have a good story, and it's actually good. You should actually watch this. And people were like, all right. And then Japan hit us with the Unicron trilogy, and that was just, it's crazy. It's Japan. Everything's crazy. Just go, okay, it's fucking there. And then America gives us Transformers Animated, which was, this show needed more than one season. This show definitely needed an extra season. We needed one more season. Oh, fuck. But this show was good, but weird. Fuck, is it weird? It's the Americans trying to be Japanese. Oh, fuck, it's weird. But it's fun.
Wait, how old is Transformers Armada?
That was mid-2000s.
Because the Armada looks really... That animation there looks like mid-80s. Some of it does.
It feels like it. It's Japanese. It's weird. But it's good. A lot of the voice actor cast were imported from other familiar series. It's weird. It's fun. It's dumb. We get Unicron back because Armada's part of the Unicron trilogy, and it's a good show. And it's one of those things where if I got a chance to play Transformers, I'd be happy. I would run it, but I want to play it because it's no fair letting me have to just it's almost like Red Skull from the from the Infinity Gauntlet movies, where I am just here to bring you to I am allowed to guide you to the promised land, but I can never touch it. And that is the saddest moment in the entire universe. If I have to run Transformers, which I will be I don't get to play it, Everybody else gets to play it. I get to run it, which is cool. I get to tell my own story, but I want to play a character too. But I refuse to make a DM character. I refuse to do that. The only DM character that I'm going to be allowed to play is the heroic main guy who's just there to be like, look, I'm none of you are allowed to play the designated semi truck of the game. Okay, that is a major NPC who gives you orders and inspires you and shows up at the last minute to kick everybody's ass with dramatic 80s music. And because fuck it, he's got rocket shit. Yes, fuck it. He's got a 2-minute awesome animation sequence because you're all getting your ass kicked. Just remember, don't help him during the final fight, okay? Whichever one of you runs up that staircase, I will shoot. And I will shoot mercilessly. Okay? And they're like, and I think most people who I would run Transformers with would understand when Cup tells you that's Prime's fight, you don't go up there. You let him have his fight. And it would be awesome. But, I'm sorry, no player gets to be a Prime. That's just the simple truth. You can be as awesome as you want to be, but you don't get to be a Prime. Prime is something you earn and or have dropped in your lap. Fuck you. Fuck you, Hot Rod. I'm sorry. Oh. I know I'm just running around rampant, but it's like I would have just as much fun running. I would have just as much fun running G.I. Joe as I would Transformers. Those are my two.
G.I. Joe and Transformers are like almost one and the same because the good guys have got to be good, the bad guys have got to be bad, and they both were born of the 1980s capitalism, which kind of said, hey, here's a Sears Wish book, kids. Don't you want all these toys? And I'm a kid that, like, I fantasized about having playrooms of that shit. That's probably why I am the way I am today. That's probably why I completely envy grown-ass men who have a fucking basement or, like, garage or fucking hangar full of fucking display shelves and toys. But I even more enjoy actually getting a chance to watch people play with their fucking toys. Like, a buddy of mine, he lives not too far from here, and he's got a nice, and I hate to say this, it sounds very lame, he's got a very nice layout for his American Flyers train set, which is almost Lionel. American Flyer, Lionel look very similar. They're not. There's some distinct differences there, but like seeing somebody that has model trains and like they've got them in case and they didn't put up a layout and do the scenery and make it look pretty, make it look fucking like, hey, I want to see these in action sometime. Hey, I want to see these do the way, do something like they were intended. That breaks my heart. Like there's another guy on the south side of town. He has like over $24,000 worth of fucking locomotives just in fucking American Flyer, not including the fucking passenger trains and track and shit. But all of it's behind a glass case, and it's not set up. There's no layout scenery. There's nothing. It's fucking. It's wasteful. Like it's like a Lamborghini Countach with only fucking 11,000 miles on it from 1987, and you haven't put road miles on there for the past 10 years because you're scared. And you've got fucking tires with fucking dry rot in them because you're a cuck and you're just scared that you may have to shell out money or something may happen. Motherfucker, you have an expensive sports car and it's neat and it's nice, but it's like you've wasted your time because you put money into something that you'll never put it to the test. Will it do what it's actually made for, which is going fast in very lovely scenic locales.
With horrible suspension.
What?
With a horrible suspension.
Yes. And I love the Countach. Don't get me wrong, but that's a rattle trap. I love that thing. But man, it was so many cool posters, but none of the posters I had on my wall of the Countach ever were of it in motion.
Nope.
Do you remember that? I sure do.
Uh-huh. We didn't need to. All we wanted to do was see a pretty woman leaning on the door and or hood of the Countach, and we were happy.
Yeah, and I know that sounds so lame. Hey, Nerdy Ogre, how you doing? It sounds, but I love that car, and for me, like, there's kit cars in the Lamborghini that are better than the actual production model. Because the kit car actually allowed for small variances in the suspension to where you could drive it on a less than perfect road. Hey, Nerdy Ogre, we were ranting about a lot of things. We've kind of gone over the map, and I've not really even been talking much. I've been clicking through my email and letting Khy vent about things, going from fucking war games, which are pointless, to
Exalted,
which is amazing. And if you should ever be able to play Exalted, you're blessed. And I really mean that. I'm not a D10 fan at all. I fucking hate the D10 system, mainly for the fact that it stole from D&D the audience. It didn't steal a fucking thing from D&D except for the fact this is a tabletop game. Everything else, like, it's fucking brand new and like had so many fucking new conventions, within the framework that D10 was just a daring strike into the darkness of what the imagination promised a tabletop RPG could be. But I still hated it because at the time, like, I was having a hard time pulling a table together because everybody was wanting to play at a table with girls.
Yeah. And then we got on to the joys of Transformers, and then me going through about 2/3 of the Transformers plot timeline.
I found out tonight, if you ever need somebody to explain to you the timelines of Transformers, Khy is a fairly adequate individual to get you through there with a lot of passion.
And I will not go into autistic detail. I'll give you a fun overview. And if you say anything that sounds interesting, I will stop, rewind, and go, would you like to know more? Yes. Now the autistic screeching starts and the info dump begins. Because I think that's a strength of being a storyteller, is being able to take a big subject and then give you a fun overview, and then listen for what makes somebody interested, and then expand upon the part that's interesting, and then you go off on a whole new tangent and you forget what the fuck you started at. It makes car rides fun because I don't shut up for 3 hours.
Could you imagine a car ride with Khy for just a 2-day road trip to a convention?
Oh my god. I won't shut up, but it'll be a lot of fun. And I guarantee there'll be a whole lot of weird conversations and world building, strange one-off scenarios that sound awesome. That it's like, man, wouldn't it be cool if? And then suddenly it becomes something weird, magical for only that one trip, and it will be referenced for the rest of time as a weird joke. Cartoons. I didn't really get to the Michael Bay movies because, they're the Michael Bay movies. But I touched on Gen 1, Gen 2, some of the Marvel comics. I didn't go too deep into them because that's a whole its own universe timeline storyline. Plus the UK timeline is its own universe timeline weirdness. Both of them, they're all great. They all have great stories to read. The art styles are kind of sometimes weird, but it's Marvel and Marvel UK, which is weird. A little bit of Gen 2. Spent most of my time talking about Beast Wars because that was fun. Touched on the Unicron trilogy, which is Armada, Energon, Unicron Wars, which is a fun little diversion. Touched on the Prime universe. Honestly, if I got a chance to actually run, I was talking about how I ran would probably revolve around session 1-0 would probably be a series of adventures leading up to War 4 / Fall of Cybertron video games that were part of the Prime timeline that would work up for where your characters were during the last days of the war for Cybertron and the eventual evacuation of the Ark and Nemesis off the planet, and then dealing with the aftermath. Because I'm sorry, the players don't get to be Gen 1 bots. You weren't on the Ark. You get to be somewhere else. And because I knew one of my players would be a happy player who would be, I want to be there, and because he's a huge Metroplex, he's a huge Omega Supreme fan, and he would want to play a character who could throw down with them, because he's like, I don't want them to suffer alone, and in their last moments have no one else there to help them, because he hates. When we were playing co-ops through the first time when Fall of Cybertron came out. Great game, fucking amazing game.
Wait, what game system was that on?
PC, and console, but we played it on PC. And War 4 and Fall of were total Gen 1 games. You play both Autobots and Decepticons through the game because the storyline bounces back and forth, and it feels right. It feels like this is what was the prequels to what would become Gen 1. And it's like, because in War 4, the fall, like, it hasn't been decided yet. Like, you're pretty sure that there's still hope that someday we might win the war. The good guys might win the war. The bad guys might win the war, and the planet might be saved. By the end of War of, you're pretty much going, no, we're all fucked. And then Fall of is just that. It's the last days. Things are now collapsing. The systems are falling down. There's not, the power systems are no longer working right. There's just not enough energon to keep things running. Everyone's trying to just, like, it's that bitterness of going, nobody's going to win. Like if nobody can win, I'm going to make sure you die with me. Type attitudes are starting to come out. But there's this last minute secret project that the Autobots are desperately trying to hide the existence of. This is the Ark. And, they're trying to desperately gather enough fuel and power to be able to launch it. And, like, half the game is spent going, just trying to sneak as much power as you can into. And here's Megatron trying to figure out, what the fuck is the Autobots doing? And, when it finally dawns on him, they're going to leave? No! They have to die here with me. The war has to end. I have to kill you. And it's like this whole shit. And there's this great sequence where Megatron's like chasing Prime, and you're like, it's right there. And Prime's sitting here just turning on emergency shit left and right, trying to buy time. And what is he doing? He's turning on defenses. What the fuck is he doing? He's reactivating Metroplex. And you don't realize it until he turns the last thing on, and, well, power just went back to Metroplex. He's turning back on, and they get this shot of Metroplex waking the fuck up. It's like, it's Autobot City turning on and being what it's supposed to be. And there's this great shot of Metroplex just coming out of the ground, holding Prime in one hand, and pretty much saying, no further. You're not going to get a step closer to the Ark. And watching Megatron and the Decepticons go, we can't fight Metroplex. Oh, fuck. Because he's a city. You don't have enough firepower. And having to run away, and then the rest of the game happens. And then that last moment where Metroplex has been fighting, everything to, while you've been doing all this shit, and you get to see Trypticon. It's Trypticon. It's huge. It's Robot Godzilla. And then you watch Megatron sacrifice Trypticon to reformat Trypticon into Nemesis. Because he realizes that Prime is going to escape. I can't let him escape. I need to kill him. And if Prime has a spaceship to escape, I need one too. And force. It's a fight against Trypticon to batter him down and then reformat him into Nemesis. And it's like, holy shit. Okay, Nemesis is now even more scary because it's actually Trypticon. Fuck. Okay, awesome moment. And it's a great sequence where it's like, and the thing is that at the end you get this sad moment. Like, it's a sad moment where the Ark doesn't have enough fuel to escape. It doesn't have enough energy, and Metroplex sacrifices himself to power the Ark so the Ark can escape. And I'm like, and we're playing it co-op, and it's been a lot of fun, but both of us had to stop and go, no, he's our favorite. Like, we both are going, we love this character, and we're both feeling devastated by the fact that the best character is killing himself so we can live, so we can escape. And we're like, no, there's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be a way to let him survive. And I know if I was to run this game, one of my friend who was playing co-op with me during Fall of Cybertron would probably go, I want to play someone who saves him. I want to be there and go, no, I want him to live. I want him to survive this. And it's like, I know I can't make it there, but I want to be there to help, to at least be there for the coolest Autobot ever. And I'm like, I can live with this. This is a world I can enjoy. I can enjoy telling an alternate world where Metroplex doesn't sit in stasis lock for millions of years, and he gets to go off and go live his life somewhere else and be awesome because he had a battle buddy who decided to pick him up and go, we're leaving. We're both giant spaceship battleship cities. We're leaving, and who's the fuck's gonna stop us? And I know my friends would do this kind of shit because that's what they liked. Because when they're talking about the kind of Transformers they would want to play, they don't want to play some dinky car or some fighter plane. They want to play the giant play sets, the Giganto play set. they want to play the character. Who are you? I'm playing the character who legitimately is the character your parents would never buy because it's a $200 model. They want those kind of, they want to do those kind of things. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Why? Because we're all Transformers fans here. We would definitely love to go, yeah, let's play something badass like that. Or, one player's playing the big Uber Skybreaker, the monster super play set, Battle City set. And then the other ones are going, yeah, I'm also playing the car who goes out there and has fun. It's like, hey, I'm playing the smaller bots that hang out with the giant walking city. And I know they would enjoy role playing that one, going out there and doing their desperate flight across the galaxy, trying to stay one step ahead of the Decepticon pursuit as they're trying to buy time because their leader's now lost in time. They have no idea where he went, where he is. They just know that the Ark escaped and Megatron's gone. Okay, now what? Shit, we were supposed to get orders for, he was supposed to make it to some new world and find hope. Well, we have his last orders, which was survive. Well, now we have to survive, and now we escape. And it's like, I get to create new Decepticons. I get to create new threats, a galaxy of weirdness, because we all know the Quintessons are out there, and they're fucking weird. We all know Unicron's out there, and he's out, and he's Unicron. Congratulations. We know, because we like some of the other franchises, we know there are other worlds. After all, we get to have we know Decepticons exist. We know there's plenty of places to have an adventure, to play and enjoy the world and enjoy the setting we like without ever having to step foot into Gen 1 until Gen 1 turns itself back on. So it's like, so when 1983 rolls around and the broadcast comes out of, hey, any surviving Autobots, come back here and help. As they would probably, as I've put it in the past to some of my friends in person, it's like, hey guys, are you ready to be a cameo for one episode before you're forgotten about? And they're like, yes, we're here to show up for one episode, be cool, and then show up in the background for two or three episodes, and then be killed in the background of the movie. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go have some adventures. And always going, you all know that your death is coming. And they're like, what? You're all Gen 1 characters. Your death will arrive approximately when you hear Stan Bush playing in the background. You know you're about to die. Like, oh God, we're going to die off screen, aren't we? Yes, you all die off screen. And like, that's okay. It's because it's by canon. You have to die during the Battle of Autobot City. You know it's coming. Yeah, we do. But we're going to have fun doing it. That's right. Let's go have some fun. And
you got the touch.
Yeah, like
yeah. I mean, you do that and like you just squeal. Who fucking doesn't?
It's like, do you hear that? What's that? Do you hear Symphony of Destruction playing? Oh no. That's right. It's time for the movie. Oh no, we're all gonna die. Yes, you are. And it's going to be fun. And it's like, why? Because this is the point where y'all die. I mean, it's just that simple. Why? We need to make room for season 3 models. New toys, bitches. Time to die. And just have fun with this. And like, why the fuck are the Autobots sitting on the moon bases? I don't know. Let's go run an adventures and figure out why they lost the main planet and are now on the moon bases. Okay, let's do that. Where's all the shit happening? These are stories. These are adventures that could be happening. Just have some fun. And I could do this. And it would be great. Would it be canon? No. Would it be fun? Yes. Who cares? Because it's a new story. Alternate universe. Come up with your own characters. Like, come on. I know most of us have probably been sitting around, like at one point in our past with a notebook going, man, if I had a Transformer, I'd be a Lamborghini Countach that shot missile launchers. Cool. Start figuring out how to make that character. What would be his cool power? Because everyone's got a cool power. Yeah. Go ahead. Think of it. Just think about it for a while. I'll come back to you. What do you got? I'm an aircraft carrier who's afraid of water. Fuck yeah, let's go with that. I'm a space shuttle who's afraid of heights. Go with that. This is why you're an Autobot. None of you are functional. All of you are idiots. I love all of you. God, yes.
God damn it. Who was the Transformers Blue Corvette?
Oh, God. That wasn't Sunstreaker. That was
It's not Sideswipe, is it?
No, it might be
Tracks?
Blue Streak. No.
No,
There's a lot. See, this is the thing. I would have to start doing research.
Yes, it was Tracks.
Yeah. The fun part is that all of this would just come down to I would have fun having to start doing research. The moment I knew I would be running this, research time starts and names get written down. Because I hate to say that I wish I had the ability to just recall every name, every bot, everything off the top of my head perfectly. But unfortunately, I know too much. I read too much about too many things, and I have notes for a reason. And I don't know. It's like I love it, but I'm not the ultra fan who could tell you exactly who did what when. I would notes books exist. I will use them. But it would be so much fun. God, it would be fun. The creativity that I think players, if given the chance to be creative, would have would be great. Because I've encountered very few players who, if given the chance to be fun, to be creative, would choose the most boring path. I know a few people who would go, I play human fighter. And I'm like, tell me more. What makes your human fighter interesting? And they'll probably have an answer. And I'm like, hell yeah. Okay. I see why you did that. Okay, you got a good character. But it sounds so boring at concept. Yeah, but it's execution that matters. Will you execute it well? Yes. Then it's perfect. Go ahead. Be that character. But I'm sure that if given a chance to be whatever they want, I want to see what people would do. And that's the fun part about sitting down and going, hey, we're going to go play some G.I. Joe. Do you just want to give him Luke Skywalker to drive? Yeah. But no, just sit down and look at somebody and go, hey, we're going to play some G.I. Joe or Transformers. What would you want to play? Who would you, like, can I play a named character? No. No named characters. Gotta make your own character up. I mean, and I know some people who would come up with some weird ass fucking shit. But then again, look at some of the weird ass fucking characters who were in these shows. And you'll go, nah, yeah, that sounds pretty okay. Like, who are you? I'm a guy who wears a cool big red suit and I have a flamethrower. Ah, you're barbecue. Yeah. And it's like, but when you have characters like that, you just kind of look at it and go, you know, and some of the things that are in these worlds are so over the top and so creepy, that so weird and dumb that you're just like, some player goes, I'm actually a resurrected Egyptian from the ancient past, and cool, you fit. What? Just tell me how you got here. How did your character arrive in the great year of 1984? and watch a player go, well, obviously there was an ancient blah 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 blah. Because remember, the Temple of Doom in the Weather Dominator miniseries still had ancient battle mechs ancient stone statue battle mechs that punched things and breathed fire in an ancient Inca temple. I think, and it was able to beat up and have a good throwdown with a Cobra battle mech. I think being able to say, yeah, so there was an ancient mystical magical empire thing that allows my Egyptian warlord to have who was born in the 23rd century BC to wake up now, but I was woken up by some British adventurer in the 1960s, and I learned the English tongue, and I learned my modern things. So I bring ancient Egyptian magic and cool fighting styles into the modern day, and I'd be like, fuck yeah, okay, you got it. What's your code name? And they give some fucking weird ass code name. I go, done. You're in. What? Yeah. Where have you been the entire time? I was actually in the Middle Eastern department until now. I just got transferred back over. Over. Fantastic. Guess what? You're part of the team. Yeah. And now we're going. And fuck yeah, let's just have some fun. That was close to Serpentor. Serpentor was all the ancient warlord, the greatest DNA from all the greatest ancient warlords except for one, and they screwed that one up, so they used Sergeant Slaughter's DNA, which is why Serpentor's retarded. He's the greatest general, but also retarded, and I love him for it. God, I have all these the greatest minds of all history, and a WWF wrestler. Fuck. uh, I don't know. Serpentor is the downhill slide point for GI Joe with me. I'm like, but I can still live with it and go, yeah, he's only in some of the series. He reappears every once in a while. He's done better in the comics actually, and I really like it. And it's like I'm not a big fan of him in the cartoons, but I was a fan of him in the comics actually. But then again, the comics also made Cobra Commander way more fucking deadly and competent and actually a threat. And I'm like, that version I like. And then you get other versions of the cartoons that give you different versions of Cobra Commander, and Destro and the Barons are always awesome, no matter which version we're talking about. And they get, and yeah, general all around. Yeah, probably go with comics, but don't worry, I wouldn't follow any of the actual main timelines. The G.I. Joe movie doesn't actually exist except for the opening scene, the opening 3 minutes. But beyond that, the movie never happened. I don't care how often they give me stats for Globulus and Nemesis Enforcer. I don't
See,
like
I
them.
just want to watch the Globulus movie like 2 years ago or less, and I'd never seen it. I thought, wow, they really went off the fucking rails on this shit.
Okay, I'm not going to knock Sergeant Slaughter, but okay, his arrival is hilarious, where he just shows up and just punches a bunch of bats. Like he shows up in his little mini tank, punches a bunch of bats, and they have a big thing where he's like, "All you Joes have gotten weak," and it's like, "Oh no, this is going to be hilarious." And that's when we get into the wonderful world of Serpentor is created. And deep down, you just know somewhere Vince McMahon is in the background going, yes, he's my creation. The actual true mastermind behind Serpentor is Vince McMahon, who's just sitting here laughing in the background evilly. And Cobra Commander's going, do I sense someone more evil than me? Oh, God. It's just one of those things where, like, look, there's so many fun ways to either make it as crazy or as serious as you could possibly have it. And if I got my players who are like, no, we want to go into full 80s camp, heck yeah. It's going to be 80s camp, and I'm going to throw in all the good jokes. You know, I'm going to be like, oh, God, pork chop sandwiches. Oh, shit, get the fuck out. You know, I'm going to pull all the Fleister PSAs shit into this thing. So it's going to be it's going to like I'll have other jokes and other plot lines, but every once in a while you're definitely going to have that wonderful moment of, and guys, it's the end of the episode. Do you know what time it is? What time for the PSA? What? It's the 80s. You have to give your PSA so that way we can stay on the air. What's today's message, people? And then watch my players go, oh shit, and then come up with that silly, knowing is half the battle GI Joe PSA catchphrase. And I want to see whatever retardation that my players will come up with. And it's like remember, you have to end with the catchphrase. Oh yeah, knowing is half the battle. GI Joe did it. And yep, that's the shit I want, guys. If we're gonna go 80s camp, we're going full PSA. And I know that some players would have fun with that shit. Because wouldn't you?
It'd be so much fun, man.
Yeah.
You can pour oil into local lakes and streams and prevent those pesky mosquitoes from being a part of your reality. I'm sorry, that's just terrible, but I would laugh. I watched Fight Club too much, and like the entire mayhem and chaos shit was just fucking way too fun.
Yes, I like that idea, Chris. Yes, but I mean, God, it would just be so much fun, especially if you play into the characters, their iconic, whatever gimmick they have chosen for themselves, and then create the scene for the PSA. it's like I will give you all bonus XP if you come up with if you can come up with a PSA that fits your character, one of your character's themes, and then watch my players who are probably going, but we're wrapping up for the day. It's like last 10 minutes of the day, last 10 minutes of the session, PSA time. One of you has to just pick out one of you. Y'all know your characters by now. Fix it, and then knowing one of my players is like oh no, an invasive species, and then watch him flamethrower the entire field. Remember, do your part to prevent the arrival of alien creatures in your environment. Meanwhile, the background of forest fire is currently raging, and they're going and you just hear screaming from people. It's like, my house is on fire. Biodiversity is important for the ecosystem. And as the fires rage in the background, and it's just like, and knowing is half the battle. And that's right. Let's go and have fun like that. Remember, kids, if she doesn't have, yes. See, that's the funness. I can see some player who's playing a sailor, one of those sailor, U.S. Navy based characters who's just telling you about remember, kids, if she has an apple in a banana. And it's like, oh no, what? How do you know this? Just trust me, I know. It's just, god damn it.
God, I love that. Nerdy Ogres just fucking smashed it there. This happens every fucking other Saturday, Zoe Base Jeremy. But part of you don't you realize we get a chance to watch Khy melt every weekend. We do this
because it's a chance to decompress and have fun. Say the things that make why focus on the dumb, on the bad things. Focus on the fun parts of the hobby. Focus on the creativity, the things that we wish we could do but we don't get to. Think about how much fun we could be having, but we're not. And then we ask ourselves, why aren't we having fun? Why are we just doing the same the same boring thing possible? If I could just give you one nice bit of energy, one bit of fun or craziness that you could take this to someone else's other game to make their game just a hair bit more fun, I've done a good thing. And that's all I care about. Have fun and just enjoy it. And yes, I don't have a lot of sanity, so me losing what little bit I've got is not hard. And once I get going, once the rant that everyone says I have starts, it's just turning on the faucet of all the creative energy I've got just bottled up, and I have to stay smiling, calm, collected, and go, no, everything's fine. I enjoy doing the same fucking thing every single week. I enjoy just mechanically going through life and pushing shit across the board because we're playing a board game this week, or I'm playing a war game this week. Nothing has value, nothing has importance. Everything is transitory. I'm having a perfectly adequate amount of fun today, and then I get to go home and go play some Vidmo games and chat on the internet. And then wonder, man, do you know how much fun it would actually be to be doing X or Y? And then be told, hey, we're going to play a game. Awesome. I'm going to go play the game. And then be told, it's going to be the most basic bitch starter game possible. Don't do anything special. Why? Because we don't play special. Special is no. And I'm like, I will take your challenge. I will take your mediocre restrictions, and then I will find a crack. And like a weed, I will grow in that crack, and then I will make something crazy. You'll give me a restriction, I'll play your restriction, and then I will play something fucking crazy as fuck. And who knows, maybe you'll kill my character 8, 9, 10 times, and I won't. And by then, it'll just become a running gag where I will introduce a character, and then I will just throw him onto the barred sandbag pile. And be okay with that, because then I know what I'm doing, because now I'm just going to roll 400 characters up ahead of time, and now it's going to be like, go ahead, kill them, Let's see who runs out of willpower first, me or you. What? Go ahead. I've got enough characters made to play the Battle of the Somme. Are you ready? I am. And watch the GM go, what have I done? And I'm like, I'm going to recreate the music video for the song by Motorhead 1816. By 10 a.m. I'm going to kill 10,000 characters. You're going to kill 10,000 characters. What? Start murdering my characters now. What? I got 10,000 of them. I plan on depopulating a few cities today. This starts to sound terrible and miserable, and I'm a Motorhead fan. This is okay. I like the music. Let's play the game. Come on, play. Like we'll trade tracks. Now it's the game. Come on, play it. Come on. I've got it on play. I'll hit play and watch it. Like I got it paused right now. I'll hit start, and then watch the GM go. Oh, you're taking the fun out of killing you because you're actually enjoying it. I know. I'm going to enjoy this far too much. I go, that's why I'm not going to kill you anymore. And now I win. What? I won no matter what. I have set my win condition. Is you breaking. That's not fair. It's not fun for you. But I'm here to have fun. Let's just have fun, guys. Have a good game. Yay!
So, what type of character are you going to play in this Traveler game?
I don't know. It's Traveler. The fun part about Traveler is you don't have any clue what the fuck your path is going to be. I could either be playing a 24-year-old cripple broken out of being drafted into the Imperial military and coming out with two broken legs and no fucking endurance, or by rolling bad, I could be just playing a space hobo who just managed to get on the ship because I used my last $5 in a candy bar to be able to get low berth travel, and now I'm part of the crew. Or I could be playing the smartest goddamn person in the entire planet, in the entire fucking this entire area of space. But that's the fun part. I have no idea what character creation is going to give me, and that's the fun of it. It's the only game that gives you your character and gives you can walk into a game like I'm going to play the best Space Marine ever, and then get drummed out. I drummed out literally on your first term, and now you got to go figure out what are you going to do. Like you planned your entire life around being a Space Marine. Yeah, I did, but you didn't. You spent 4 years, and then you got out. Now what are you going to do? Use my GI Bill and go to school? And then he dropped out. Yeah, you wasted it. I did. Now what are you going to do? Merchant. You got fired from that. What are you going to do now? And then you're like, oh, fuck. And then you're going to end up playing a 48-year-old alcoholic washout who's on a spaceship traveling because you're trying to outrun all your creditors. Because that's what the game gave you. And you know what? Fuck it. Have some fun with it. I mean, or, hey, I rolled really good. Now I'm playing a university-trained super spy who also spent time in the Imperial Scout Corps. And I rolled damn good, and I'm amazing. I'm a retired naval captain. And I have a pension. It's fucking awesome. I had the best day. I had the best life ever. Until the inevitable Civil War happens, and then somebody shows up. You're sitting here going, "I'm retired. I don't have to do a goddamn thing." Then the Imperium falls apart because it's a Traveler. The Imperium always falls apart. Or the Swordsworld Confederacy decides to declare war, or the Solomani are causing problems, or somebody else is causing problems, and you just happen to be in the area, and then suddenly some guy in an Imperial military uniform shows up on your ramp, holding the one thing you don't want to see. Oh, fuck. That's right, reactivation papers. And you're sitting here going, but I got out. I did my term. I'm done. You are never free. The military wants you back. it needs you back. You ready to go back? And you're like, I don't want to. I don't want to go back. I did 30 years. I did 36 years. I'm out. I'm done. And then somebody else in the background stickering, and then the courier looks at them and hands them their own sheet, and then that poor player opens it up and goes, "Fuck. Well, I'm going to go to the reactivation office with you too." And then you have the two people, because everyone chooses the military at one point because it gives you the best bonuses and cool stuff, and to the reactivation papers, and then you don't have free will anymore, and now you're back under military control. Congratulations, your life is miserable. You're no longer a free person. And meanwhile, you have your 2 or 3 players who are going, we were never part of the military. We're free. At which point they get their own fucking documents thrown in their face and go, what's this? Draft papers. You're being drafted. Fuck. We're all part of it. That's right. What do you do? And at which point the guy who's the captain of the ship goes, if we don't report for reactivation, we can leave port now. We have a refueling scoop. We have enough food to jump into the marches. We can outrun the draft office. Yes, let's fucking do it. And because it's Traveler, you can do whatever the fuck you want as long as you got fuel in the tanks and you got money to pay for shit. At which point you look at the one guy and go, oh, fuck. What are we going to do? Yes. And it would be hilarious. Like, I want to see whatever the fuck we end up doing. Who knows? Maybe we'll play a military game. Maybe we'll go out exploring. Maybe we're going to find some mythical lost tech level 16 empire, ruins of it, and we'll play archaeologists. Maybe we'll play some merchant fun. I don't know. I don't know this group. I don't know these people. I don't know what I'm getting into. I'm going to go in blind and meet new people and have new stories. I'm looking forward to the idea of meeting a bunch of old gamers who I don't know and being able to see what they're already doing and then meshing myself into their group. And maybe I might find out I am the craziest person on the fucking ship. Maybe I'll play Murdoch, from the A team, where they was like, I'm the best goddamn pilot in the universe, but I'm also bedbugs crazy, and they had to spring me out of jail so I can go do some cool shit. Well, not really jail; it's the psych ward. But hey, it's okay. The Imperium or psychologists are all trash, and we all know this. So, but we need a really, really, really good pilot, and this is the best one we got. Or we need a good engineer. He's the best one we got. Oh, fuck. Well, we'll have some fun. And that's the greatest thing in here. And yes, I am an army of 12 monkeys. It would be fantastic. What
would I do with 12 monkeys?
Oh.
That's really a question I guess I shouldn't have asked, but I mean, I just thought of that. I'm like, man, there's something I haven't thought of today. What would I do with 12 monkeys? How could I monetize this? How could this turn into a win-win for me? Just a question for Bruce here. I don't know. I'm debating.
I don't know.
Really. I shouldn't, but that's a fun rabbit hole. The more I think about it.
Oh God. What would I do to destroy time? That would be interesting. I don't know if I would play. Actually, I think I could actually do that kind of character. I don't know a GM who would run that game. I would play it. I wouldn't run it. I would so play it.
Man. So on your agenda, what do you got planned here for the next couple of weeks? We're going to not see each other for 2 weeks, and
Okay, so I think part of what we're supposed to do is I need to finish reading up on Bear's game because we're supposed to demo it. I have a cool power I want to see if I can have done. It is the most useless power, but I think it would be the most awesome power at the same time. At least for me, it'd be a thematic power because like I want like what's your superpower going to be? I want the ability to not see. I don't want to see power levels. I don't want to see how powerful someone is. I want to see how dangerous somebody is. Like, where are they on the 1 to 10 violence scale at that moment? And, like, be able to just go through and look at people and know how close to losing it they are. Like, go through it and, like, oh shit, what movie is it? What movie is it? What movie is it? Brain tired, brain moving. Um, fuck you, Google. Okay, kind of like if I had a moment where he's like where it's like falling down, where you're like I'm just going through like, and I can see a guy in a business suit, watching his number go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 10, the point where he actually blows away the neo-Nazi in the gun store. Mm-hmm. And like, which point is someone about to fucking lose it? That's the what other power do you have? I don't. I can literally just tell when somebody's like, how dangerous are they? Could be harmless. I'm sorry, I don't have DBZ scouter powers. I just want the ability to look at somebody and go, he's about to lose it. What do you mean? He's sitting at a 9, so he's dangerous and he could lose it, but he's not a 10 yet. And someone at 10, where they're like that person at 10's either lost it or they're on a hair trigger that they could initiate violence at any moment. Like, and that would be kind of fun. And then having a GM, and if a GM is smart and fun, goes, and then you encounter somebody who's an 11. And I go, wait, the number doesn't go that high. It does now. Oh, I have no clue what that means. And then have the GM play with that and run with it. It's this thing I've been wanting to, it's an idea that I have. And it would be a fun thing. But then again, I have a lot of weird ideas that I would love to play. I mean, but no, like I said, I gotta get ready for table breakers on Thursday. Next weekend is my 4th anniversary, so I'm going to be busy on Sunday. But that's also Easter, so everyone's gonna be busy anyway. So it's like, yay, it's Easter on Sunday. But who cares? It's Saturday. Saturday will be fun. And let's see. There's Traveler. There's
holy shit.
Was that?
I keep forgetting about Easter's coming up.
Yeah, it's okay. The day constantly moves every year, so you can never get used to it. It just ambushes you. It sneaks up on you like a fucking raptor, and all of a sudden one day you realize, oh shit, it's Ham Day.
I'm pretty okay with Ham Day, by the way.
Yeah. But it's got other things. No, it's just copious amounts of Ham Day, okay? Everyone gets a giant fucking ham. Everyone gets ham. Yum. Have you eaten the pig? Eat the pig. Fuck the pig.
Dude, there's some really good ham over at Costco. Like, I forget what it's like let me see if I can find it. See if we can get a hold of something like this, because it's just the most delicious ham I've ever had. Let's see.
Oh, man, there's always the candy baskets. But I need to tone back on the candy. I'm getting fat.
I try to stay away from it, man. I really do. Costco. Let me see if they have this online here. Yeah. Nope, 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 nope. No, I need to share this. That way you guys see my pain.
The ham chunk, just on the bone ham.
Come on. Oh, don't do this to me. Bastards. They sell 2 of these together.
That's not bad.
No. Rack of porks with pork belly, pork diced. No, 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 no. Pork loin. Pork picnic. I'm not big into picnic shoulders myself. That's just me. I will have to go and buy this ham and then show it on stream because it is the most delicious ham I've ever had in my fucking life. It's kind of like a Smith ham, like I just showed there, but it's like one level of crack cocaine deliciousness better than that.
Oh yeah, it's done right. It's amazing.
You don't have to do anything to it. You just have to. You can just dice it up and throw it in a skillet or in a crock pot.
I'm just so used to going to people's houses like, come over for dinner, we're having ham. I get there and it's just like spiral cut, burnt, dead, sad. Yes, the carving hams.
Oh my god! I see this shit and I'm immediately like, I don't have any of those in my fridge. I need that now.
I need that. I know pig porn is great,
and it's like only $14 to $15 for like 3 to 4 pounds. Oh,
I know. But,
sorry.
But then people are like, here's a spiral cut ham. I have burnt the first 10 layers. It's just dry, sad, ham tasting. People are like, I don't want to eat it. It's burnt and dry and miserable. And I'm like, ham jerky. Come.
Spiral cut's delicious. It is. I just don't like cooking it. I will take the slices of it and I'll fry it in a skillet for a little bit, but after that it goes right on a plate and in my belly. Pig porn.
I had the benefit of Carmen having the ability to take a big carving ham and then putting it on a slicer, on a big industrial slicer, deli slicer, and just slice off the chunks. Do
you have a deli slicer?
I have access to one.
Oh, damn it! You're in Illinois.
I know. It's fun putting an on the bone ham on it, and then cutting off, good 1/2-inch thick ham steaks, just slicing the whole thing down to 1/2-inch steaks.
I really need to win the lottery. That elusive set of numbers, I just need it. I really do.
Yes.
I want 30 acres, and I want the gaming commune, and I want the central gaming hall, the Viking longhouse in the middle of all the cabins. That's what I want.
Yes.
And every like a few grills out there just for kicks. Need the grills, and we definitely need some nice internet access. We need internet access. Subterranean Google Fiber, that would be nice.
Yes.
Low price of only $1.5 million. So, like I said, the winning lotto numbers are going to be crucial for that because I can't afford that on my septic and grease trap extractions alone. As much as I would like to pretend, no, I can't do that. I was an idiot the other night and I went to the game store after I got my paychecks and I'm like, oh, yeah, I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, I knew what the fuck happened. I bought some new fucking scenery and I went over to Grocery stores, and so I got this little pile of gray minis, which we have some. Reaper sells these 3 in a pack. These guys come in a package of 3 for $10.
Not bad.
No, like damn near Warhammer Fantasy detail levels, and none of the pain of having a shitty combat engine.
Yeah. I stumbled across my glorious copy of the board game Samurai Sword / Shogun, and I forgot it comes with a little army, a little samurai dudes, and I'm like, yay! Hundreds of little dudes I can throw on a map. It's
I used
giant
to,
elephant dude.
yeah, a big elephant with his throne. I've been wanting this figure for a while. You remember my friend? You don't remember Bill, but you remember me RPing as Bill because he's dead now, and his big thing in games was I like fonts. He loved elephants, so
Nice.
bring him up and call him Bill. But
Nice.
And I got so many of these micro detail brushes with the plastic still on because I need the condom on to show me which ones I haven't touched and fucked up yet.
Yep.
Those micro details last me about a year and a half, and after that they just fray out. No matter how much I massage them, clean them, condition them, a year and a half.
Sounds about right, unfortunately.
I wish I was better with them. I really do.
No, you just use them. That's
Yeah.
all.
It's the same complaint that I have about the sports car and the train sets. Like, if you don't have that shit on the layout and to actually play with it every once in a while, you've wasted it. Then they made the blood scale kobolds, but in black plastic now. So, do you like black plastic figures? Because these have the same detail as the miniatures that they came out with back in '97 and '98. It's not bad.
Now I had to remind them when my players was complaining about, like, yeah, miniatures are all bad. I'm like, going, just look for Werner Clock with Reaper. He is an amazing godsend talent of sculpting, and he still makes amazing miniatures.
That guy's great.
I love Clock and Booty miniatures.
See, everybody that is a grognard as myself, they always go with Clock and Booty. Like, oh my dear Lord, Clock and Booty, Clock and Booty.
It's okay. It was the search term for a long time in their catalog. If you wanted his miniatures, you just typed in Clock and Booty, and it gave you all his stuff. And I liked, he's great. I actually like his miniatures through that he did for Privateer Press more than his Reaper miniatures.
Man, finding the Privateer Press ones, that is a pain in the ass nowadays.
These days, yes. Let's see. Do I still have it saved? He worked for a company for a while that did a lot of really weird, fun stuff. I don't know if I still have it saved, but no, Privateer Press was, for a long time, an amazing source for miniatures. Yeah, I know. You could have just played Iron Kingdoms. I'm yeah, no, because I don't want to play another war game. I want cool characters for my D&D games, because I run steampunk, and it's a steampunkish fantasy arcanum game. But I don't want to play it. I don't want to collect an army and play an army game. If I want to play an army game, I don't want to play with a bullshit fantasy rules system that has weird magic and dumb stuff. If I want to play a war game, I'm going to go play a historical war game. Please rewind video I rewind the video if you have missed it to First Rant of the Night on why I don't even want to do that. because there's a certain point in time where I get bored of driving the same Tiger tank across a map and shooting people with it, because there's only so many ways I could compose a unit that is fun before it turns into optimal meta, and unless I'm playing against a player who's also being thematic and fun and trying to make an interesting historical scenario. No, we play with points. Everyone builds to optimize best in show. This unit would never exist. Unit compositions to go throw into a game, and at which point we just like, yay! I push my unit into your unit. We roll dice. Things happen. I don't want to do that. I mean, I would rather have some really stupid like, if I'm going to play that, I'm going to go play an actual historical scenario, or I'm going to go play the game I actually want to play, which is BattleTech, the greatest, dumbest game I'm ever going to love to no end. I will punch people and enjoy. I will punch people in game with robots because I like House Kurita and I like House. I'm sorry, I'm going to play those every once in a while. If I get a chance to play a clanner unit, it's going to be a freaking Ghost Bear, or it's going to be a Snow Raven unit. And if I can actually play my actual real faction, even though they're dead, dumbest move they ever made, I'll play a Comstar Word of Blake unit, which is just Free Worlds League with a new name attached to it. And then I will punch people to death and shoot lasers and then shove a tree down their throats, because that's the fun thing to do. Because right now I'm in the middle of trying to build a Charger unit because I want to play, because I have somebody who's like, I want to play BattleTech, and I want to play as optimized unit, and it's going to be all awesome and stuff, and it's going to be so fucking powerful, and I'm going to go wipe the board. And I'm like, I'm going to run a bunch of fucking Chargers down your throat, and it's going to be goddamn WWF wrestling time, and you're just going to get creamed by a battle mech in goddamn Randy Savage color, Macho Man Randy Savage colors, and his best bud Hulk Hogan mech, and they're gonna fucking tag team your ass into the ground, and then watch people go, oh god, we're playing this. Like, yeah, I'm gonna hit you with a tree. Wait, what? But aren't you like the more tactical, strategic, I'll play smart and shit, and you're gonna play WWF, the Battle Mech version? Yes. And you're going to get creamed by this, or you're going to beat me. I don't care which one's going to happen, but we're going to have a lot of fun. 5 small lasers can't do anything. 1 rock to the face and a jump kick will say otherwise.
I used to play this mech that was really fun. It was a chicken hawk.
Yeah,
and it would do like 6, 9, 6 or something obscene like that, or
yeah.
that was a run walk bullshit work. Well, it had as many jump jacks as it had like walking movement.
Right.
So like it would just, like, my favorite maps were fucking the heavy forest maps, because I could jump in and out of places. Oh, we're only playing one map, and so like everything's out in the open. I can see he's right there. I'm pretending like, oh yeah, my radar can cut through the trees. I can see you perfectly without effort, and I just jump behind him, light his ass up, then jump away. And that was it each and every time. Oh, I lost initiative this round. Well, let me drop back another fucking 6 fucking hexes, and you suck. That was how that was. And it worked out so well. But man, people hated that, and they would craft a mech to fucking wreck my shit all the time.
Oh, and this player, like, he's so used to me beating him. Like, we enjoy the game. He's the one guy who's always trying to find some, like, he forgets the fact that I love this game. I love this game on so many levels, and it's where I learned the American football analogy that I ranted about at the start of this entire rant, of this entire episode, was playing this game. And there's a reason why I've been banned from using so many units by players who were like, we're here to play giant robots. We don't want to deal with artillery, aerospace, infantry, dug-in things. We don't want to deal with camouflage, ECM. We don't want to deal with all the special stuff. We just want to play the game. And I'm like, fair, fair. And he's like, I think I could beat you. And I'm like, Mega Mech exists. We'll play. I'll log in. We'll play. And he's like, yeah, I got this unit. It's like, it's custom mech. No, I'm like, no, it's going to be complete jump from a fucking rafters with jump jet, like a charger who's just I'm running an XL engine, charger with endo steel, running jump jets, and he's going to literally jump off of fucking buildings and like elbow drop you from the all day long. Like, was that
from the top rope?
Oh yeah, elbow drop from the top rope. Oh, just like fucking slam, fucking slam fast time. Oh god, I can see Tyler Durden literally doing that as a PSA.
See that?
So, kids, it's time for your first best haircut. Just some recruit getting their head shaved. Remember, kids, never piss off the guy who cuts your hair.
That was a rule we had in the Navy. It seemed to work pretty well. Nobody really messed with the ship's mess attendants and the guys in supply. They were like, don't fuck with the guy that cooks your food. Don't mess with the guy that like is supposed to cut your hair. We had a lot of people who didn't understand that.
A lot of people have miserable times. It's an early rule that you just gotta learn. Some people don't. God, thing is that poor kid thinks he's smart. He's not. He's young, but he's been around a bunch of old fucks who talk, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm tired. Like, I want to see what you can actually do, old man." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to fucking elbow drop your happy ass." And like, he's like, because I know he won't expect it because he's used to me trying to do really 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 smart shit and then pulling out fucking grade A stupid, just fucking retard actions, and he'll be like, I don't know what to do because you're not being smart. And I'm like, nah, I turned my brain off. I turned off my ability to actually be a functioning human being. I'm just gonna play a guy who's just here. I'm just gonna fucking punch you. This isn't smart. No, I'm not here for smart. I'm here to recreate 70s kaiju films where where King Kong shoves a tree down Godzilla's throat. That's what we're doing today. Yeah, I know. Or you could play a unit that's not min-maxed to all hell, and I won't hit you with an entire line of melee motherfuckers. That sounds. We play a fun game or we play an unfun game. I'm ready for both. Which one do you want to have? Do you want to have fun? Have fun with play a fun game, a good relaxing game, beer and pretzels where we just joke. Or you can be super, super serious, and I will do drop kicks off the top rope. And I will do flying jump kicks all day long. And then you'll wonder why there's no fun here. And I'll be like, I'm having fun. I'm not having fun. You could have had fun. All you had to do was just be a good sport. Be fair. Be nice. But instead, you had to be a dick. And, well, when you're a dick, I'll be a dick. And I've been fucking people longer than you have. Sorry, this doesn't end well. Trust me, I want to have fun. I just want to play friendly. Let's be friendly. I don't want to be friendly. I want to show you how awesome I am. Dick it is. All right, let's be a dick. All right, let's be dicks. And I don't want to be dicks. I just want to have fun. Because ultimately, that's what we're trying to do. Have some fun, make some jokes, play some games, roll some dice. But some people have to be super duper serious all the time. And they have to take all the fun out of it. And Usually, I just go in. I go into most games there to have some fun. If dice fuck me so well, it's the moment that somebody taunts me and acts all like all smart and shit, and I'm like, you do realize you've only won because the dice went in your favor. You're not that smart. The dice were just in your favor. My dice run cold, and no, I'm like, okay, let's play again. This time, no fun. No fun allowed. We're just gonna play serious, right? Because we're all super serious here, right? Let's play serious, and that's when the fun stops. And it's no more jokes, no more laughter. I'm not going to tell you anything anymore. It's going to be simply poker face. Hope to God you can figure out what I'm doing, because I'm not going to tell you a dang thing until I say, all right, this is the firing sequence that's going to happen. I'm going to fire this thing and this thing in this order, and this is what's going to, and it's going to be done in this sequence. You're going to die. What? I don't want you to have fun anymore. I just want you to lose. I want you to lose miserably. And afterwards, I'm going to ask you, did you learn anything? And hopefully they did. And hopefully they'll come back and say, I just want to have fun. I want to have fun too. So when you beat me, just know, if I'm laughing, it's a good thing. If you start making fucking those jock ass motherfucking comments about like, hey, you suck a dick, like oh, you're inferior, like, oh, I guess it's time to play. I guess it's time to stop fucking having fun. I just want to have fun. My life is too miserable, too busy trying to do miserable things to exist, to want to play super serious. I don't want to do it anymore. Ah,
I want to play games and have a blast. Like
yes, I want to play
that's
beer
why I have
puzzle.
this hobby. I mean, as much as corny as that sounds, like, do I have limits on it? Yeah, I do. Like, I start off with like a core rule book, but I do want to have like super. I want to have fun races. I want to have fun classes. I do want to have things that are like kind of exclusive, and I want to have things to where, like, if you explore around a bit, you get rewarded. I think that's just how it should be. And like, if you want to play a class that, like, I'm a wizard and I get these set spells that are already in a box and they have their limited stats. If that's your idea of fun, that's great. If you're like Bruce, I want to do research, and within the guidelines of the level limits and spells that they can do, I want to play within these limits. I want to play within that. Let me have it. Okay, it's yours.
Yeah,
Your research costs you time. There you go. And
I don't.
let me know how often you have a breakthrough. Here's your die rolling that you need to do. Here's a magical reagents you've got to fuck with. And if you want to learn something of a different type of element or spell capacity, here's your list of spell ingredients that you'll need for your laboratory to fuck with.
I I don't smoke anymore, and I'm happy for that. But there are certain days where when I know there's a certain point where I'm having a bad day, and then my hand immediately starts doing what I would be holding a cigarette in, and I'm just like, I want to go back to it sometimes, but I know I can't. I know I don't want to. But there's a
I
certain part of me. Was that?
No, I had 2 cigarettes in the last 2 weeks because
Yeah.
I was fucking tired and I just needed something to keep me awake. That was
Yep.
that was like why I went into it in the first place, because cigarettes keep me awake, and I don't smoke for any other reason. Like, it's just that this is keeping me functional in the world that you want me to answer questions with. Whenever you're doing a 12-hour shift at night, like,
Yep.
it's 4 a.m. and you can feel your fatigue setting in. The sunrise is almost here. Sunrise is good because it's hard for you to fall asleep in daylight. That
I'm the opposite, actually. I fall asleep in daylight, but I'm also an ex third shifter.
I can fall asleep anywhere, and I have, which is dangerous. But I really, I excel if I get to sleep till like noon, and then become functional after that. From like 5 a.m. to noon, perfect time for me to crash out.
Yep.
I don't know why.
The the other thing, but the one thing I wouldn't mind just having on hand, ready standby, is a stage costume, Hollywood, fake cigarette. So when players start really pissing me off, I can just pull it out and then just like, okay, motherfucker, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. And like what's that? It's a little bit of a totem that lets me feel like I still have some control in my life, and I'm about to lose it. So let's just go take a long drag of a cigarette, calm down, look at the person, and go, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And then the players go, "Yeah, all right, all right, we're gonna do this shit.
Okay. Here we go.
Let's go do this, and have a nice day." And maybe it's like maybe that's what they want. Is that I don't care at this point, but oh god, I'm tired. It's just that, and you're right, Crafty. You're right about crafting. You're right about the whole. You haven't played for so long that you're bored with certain styles of play. I wish I could say I wasn't bored. And there's a lot of variations on even the most basic stuff that can be interesting and done right. When it's done right, it's amazing. But the problem here is that it has to be done right. The execution has to be done well, and then the follow through for the next step has to be an interesting next step. The problem here is that a lot of us don't really push past the most introductory status. Like you're always at 101, 201 level if you're lucky. It's baby's first dungeon. It's baby's first combat. You're not trying. Or like if I'm playing BattleTech, it's the people who want to play on a big open map on one sheet, basic map number 1, open plains, clan weapons, can't go anywhere. It's boring. D&D, it's going to be barely functional. Enemies aren't trying anything. You don't have to try very hard. Combat is combat. You just go in, and all you have to do to succeed is swing sword, cast cantrip, cast basic spell. Success, move on. Congratulations. Here's your 4 encounters for the next, this today, and to be able to have a good adventure. And that's not fun because endless combat is not fun. I don't find it fun. Some do. I'm not one of them. But then again, I also have. God, what book is it? 1 second. Okay. So I have this wonderful book written in the 80s by a veteran of the Falkland Wars. Of the Falkland War, and he was down there. And what it had in here is a chart that actually details out when people stop being functional in continuous combat situations. How many days of combat you're in before you become a useful person, when you gain maximum efficiency, and when you start to have a progressive slide to being ineffective, at which point you have to throw them out. This was reports done by the British military and the American military across multiple wars that tell you exactly how long, at which point a human being stops being a functional person and they need R&R. The problem here is that this is about combat stress and PTSD, but similar things also happen if you're continuously exposed. I think, at least, if you have continuous exposure to this, to certain continuous stimuli endlessly in a hobby, it's so therefore if all you're first starting out in the hobby, you're a player. I don't care what game you are in. You don't know what the fuck you're doing, but after about 10 to 15 sessions, after about 5, you're no longer useless. You're now learning the skills to be a good player. You'll reach a certain point where you're efficient, you're peak, and if you don't get any new stimulation or a rest or a change of plans or a change of games, you'll have this period of peak efficiency where everyone's on point, everyone's focused, everyone's skilled, and then it's going to drop off. And then you slowly have people get more and more irritable, tempers raised, their ability to focus, their ability to do anything is there, and then it drops off. It slides down to the point where they might as well be a catatonic state and they have no use and no value. It was an interesting report to read. It was an interesting report to read when you read something that's that clinical and how humans degrade. And I think applying that report to how players function in games is actually a pretty good thing. Having multiple stimuli to keep you having a change of pace can delay it or keep you going and keep you running and keep you interested and functional. But there has to be something new. The problem here I think I'm running into is that I've been doing the same exact thing for fucking ever. Therefore, anything new, any break is welcomed because it's a change of pace. Because there's a certain point where I can't just do the same thing day in and day out. Because if it just, and going into a new game and only having the same thing that you've been doing forever. It's like, wow, congratulations, you're playing a cleric? You're about to be oh, let me guess, you're one of 3 kind of clerics. Are you an interesting cleric? No, you're a combat cleric. I'm playing a cleric. I don't give a shit anymore because the moment I heard that you're a combat cleric, I fucking don't care because congratulations, you're like 4/5 of everybody else. You're boring. And same thing with like, can you play an interesting fighter? I'm playing a bastard sword fighter, or I'm a 2-weapon fighter, or I'm a 2-sworded fighter. I'm like, okay, do you have a cool gimmick, a cool trick, a cool thing? Do you know how to parry? Do you know how to block? Do you know how to protect others? No, I'm maximum DPS and I understand. Okay, what are you playing? I'm playing a spellcaster. And okay. I don't even care anymore. Okay. And you just go through this. And it's just the same fucking shit day in and day out. At least when you play a cyberpunk game, or Shadowrun or Traveler or Battletech or something more modern, you don't have the ability to just go, I have a sword and board, I wear battle armor, I go fight somebody. And unless there's a cool thing you could do. I think I wrote an entire thing today about the fact that what I want is the ability to actually work as a team. The problem is that everyone's like, D&D and Pathfinder and my D&D clone is like, you're meant to work as a team. Nobody is part of a team. What was that?
No, I'm just listening.
Yeah, okay, but no, nobody's a team. You have nothing that actually benefits anybody else. Hey, fighter, yeah? Can you protect anyone? Well, what do you mean protect anyone? Can you prevent movement? Can you defend a person? Can you interject your body as a reaction or your sword as a reaction into an incoming strike to protect it? So that way that squishy player, can you keep them safe? Because you're supposed to be the tank, the fighter, the blocker, the meat wall that keeps everyone else safe. Can you actually do that? Most games, the answer is no. No, you can't. Everyone is an autonomous unit that has to defend itself by being intelligent, by stats, by gear. You have to protect yourself because nobody else can. So you are all functionally a bunch of independent units running around And that's why, and you with no ability to do anything to protect anyone else. So why does everyone like why bother bunching up into tight little formations? Well, that works when you were playing a tactical role playing game, moving down a 5 foot hallway or a 10 foot hallway. Your fighter can actually, your fighter man gets to stand in the hallway and block. Everyone else shoots past. But the thing is that how often do we still play in a 10 foot fucking wide hallway or a 15 foot hallway? No, we want to have some way to maneuver, but there's no way for that person to do anything to protect anyone else. So you can literally just run a mountain of gobos or kobolds, or as we level up, orcs, hobgoblins, fill in the blanks, horde of fucking losers can run over there and gang rape your clerics, gang rape your wizards, and make everyone miserable because you can't do a damn thing to stop anyone. And then when the Marrow shows up and turns everybody into goddamn meat ribbons, you can't do anything. You can hope you can stand there and go, I'm the most important person. The Marrowless is super intelligent and goes, nah, you're the fighter. You can't do shit. I'm going to walk past you, hit you with my tail out of fucking, just out of, to, humiliate how pathetic you are. And then I'm going to go and, well, turn everyone you love in the second rank into meat ribbons. There's just going to be piles of blood everywhere. And there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it, fighter boy. And your fighter and paladin go, oh, you're right. I don't have anything I can do. I am a waste of flesh. And everybody else, and we have no way to defend ourselves. Please, shall I bend over and spread my cheeks so you can shove your swords up my ass? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. May I have another sword, please? Slice. And repeat. Because that's what every pit lord, Marrowleth, and major villain does, because they just walk over there and turn everybody into red mists, and then look at the fighter and go, I saved you for last. Why? Because you have more hit points. You'll scream longer. Oh, the pleasures I'm going to show you. Fuck. And this is the misery of it. But imagine if you actually had a fighter who could actually, I don't know, parry, block, defend somebody else, interject themselves in between an attack, striking somebody else. And this isn't just simply, I have to go play a special class that has special abilities that allows me once per round to be able to do that. And oh my god, there's 3 people. My entire special subclass is completely wasted. I am a useless sack of shit. Yes, you are. Congratulations. Your game is shit. You should feel ashamed for playing it. But like, you can't play, hey, look, I'm playing the wall of steel, where I can, use my armor to better defense. I can use my sword to block, parry, deflect. I can buy time for my casters to do cool things because I am the wall that you can't pass. I know how to move with you. I can move around. I can grab a player and keep them behind me while we maneuver around. As we do the boxing circling dance, I can sit there with one hand, push the, bad guy moves. I move with, I as a reaction move along with, and then push the fucking spellcaster behind me. So that way the villain can't get to the important people. I want to have some, and we like, martial characters have to be boring, useless, and sacks of shit that don't do anything useful. They have no magic powers because they're martial characters. Only magic people get to have magic abilities. Fuck, we're playing a fantasy game. why can't why can't I have the willpower to be able to go, no, I am so cool. I don't want to say I'm so cool, but no, I want to be able to, I don't know, block, deflect, or parry a spell with a sword. That doesn't make sense. It's a, look, we're playing a fucking we're playing in a magical world that has magical bullshit. I want to be able to hit a sword. I want to hit want to hit your spell like a goddamn baseball and send it back at you. I want to cut through it. You you just need a magical artifact that does that. No, I want to have fucking skill. I'm sorry. I paid the ability points to be able to fucking parry magic. Okay? That's what my class ability built towards. I want to do this. I don't have magic. I negate magic. And why? Because this opens up. I know some players, why you fucking cunt? I'm bleeding. Oh, my fucking, you're making my spellcaster not cool. It's not about a player versus player fight. It's about giving the GM and the players a way to do more shit. The GM will feel more likely to, wait, there's a player who has the ability to block spells with their sword or with their weapon or with their shield. They can deflect incoming death. I can throw more death at them. And the players can feel cool about the idea of, I am now actively protecting the party from the incoming rain of fiery doom that's going to hit us all. Or it's like, yeah, okay, I can't parry an AoE, but I can sure parry a targeted ability. Oh man, my cool tank can actually do cool tanky shit against damage. The game can be more dynamic and more interesting. The GM can go, no, he can do more cool shit, and you don't just sit there and go, well, I guess the guy's just sitting there and I'm just going to wait for my turn so I can walk 5 feet. I take my 5-foot step and then hit them with a rock. So I hit them with my sword. I did 12 points of damage. That is my turn. And then go on with your fucking day. And then, wonder why the fighter player, is picking up his art book and drawing again. And, not paying attention to the game because, he doesn't do much. Get the player more involved, get to have more fun, do more. And now you get to have, oh, fuck, now we're an integrated team. Oh, wait, now, but and because I don't have to worry about everyone has to be an integrated, self-contained combat unit, I could do things like change magic a little bit. Now I can have kind of like, I actually like how your game engine spells have different casting times, longer casting times. And I'm like, I love that. I like that because that gives incentive. And now if you give a defense character, a defense focused character, the ability to defend more people than themselves, they could buy time for the spellcasters to do the big spells. Like, hey, like when you get to have a caster yell to the fighter, I need 18 seconds. Can you buy me 18 seconds? And then have the fighter go, it's gonna hurt, but I guess I can buy you 18 seconds. And have a dramatic fight where behind the fighter or the paladin is the caster casting some big, cool, awesome spell that's going to save everything and blast the bad guy. But the bad guy is sitting here wailing, trying to get through the main fighter to go attack the caster. Because the bad guy knows that if the caster gets the spell off, shit just got real, but he has to get through the fighter. And that fighter, he's not going to let it go by easy. He's going to sit there. He's going to fight. He's going to take shots. He's going to bleed, but he is holding his ground. He is fucking swinging back. He's taking the hits. He's parrying. He's deflecting. He's staying there. And you know what? 18 seconds pass, and then suddenly a blast of fucking death flies over his shoulder and hits the bad guy. And you know what? That fighter feels like he's done something. He's been part of the team. He's engaged it. And now he can collapse and go, that hurt. I'm going to go pass out now, and let the cleric come over there and bandage his happy ass up. That would be a much better dynamic system than the current. Well, you have an AC of 12, right? Yeah. And you can't parry anything? Nope. And you can't save anybody else? Nope. Unless you were this one special subclass. Yeah. And you're not that class? No. Then you can't do it. Everybody else has to deal with their own ACs, and you can't save anybody? No. So fuck it. I hope to God everybody else buffed their AC as high as you did. No. Then everybody else is about to get fucking made airtight by all Goblin Dick or Uptake.
So I was thinking about something, and like in standard D&D, you have a to hit roll, right? But fighting against a static number on this to hit roll, and so like just add 10 plus the AC, and then you add your die roll plus your bonuses and exceed their AC, and you hit, right?
Yep.
Well, that's kind of fucking boring.
It is boring.
I was thinking about having a game where you have your die roll plus your bonuses versus the defender's die roll plus their bonuses for each and every fucking swing.
You would have that kind of combat works, but it slows things down, and you also need to realize that kind of combat is more a personal fight. Like it makes it's a great system for, and I like the idea of that kind of system, which I've worked on in the past, and I thought, and it's worked. The idea of either having like armor plus defensive, some defensive skills, being able to passively take the hits, use your armor, use deflection, use your ability to take a hit. I'm blocking it with my body or my armor, trying to deflect. That's a more passive, using your dex, using a defense skill. At that point, you put a defense skill in the game. Like a dodge.
I was thinking about this, and like we had it in the 3rd edition Player's Handbook from Sword and Sorcery Studios that either Skip Williams or somebody with Skip Williams, but his name was on the cover. And basically, like, you had 4 armor classes.
Yeah.
4. You had your armor class for your block ability that you use with a shield or your offhand weapon.
Yep.
You had your reflex save, which that was like a dodge skill. You had a parry that you use with your main weapon if you chose to do it. And 2-handed weapons, it's harder to parry than with a 1-hand weapon. And then you had your armor class, and that was it.
Yeah.
And every roll, you rolled your armor class, and as a defender, you got to choose which of these 3 was your other choice, your primary choice, and this is your last gasp, please save me, dear armor.
Yeah.
And so you rolled 2 die 20, and you added your various bonuses together. 1 die 20 got your armor bonus, 1 die 20 got your bonus you chose over here, and that was it. And holy fuck, slowed the game down to a crawl, which it's already a problem in 3rd edition. 3X is already a problem. Like our game, we went through an hour of combat, and in a minute and a half of actual game time, took like an hour and a half. And I don't know if that's because my system doesn't have an actual book that people can look at or what, but like, we get through it. We get through it, and a lot of the people that are watching are like, I kind of like this combat system. He has like different stuff. Like the thing with the fighters, like if they were using like heavier weapons, like when Janet hits 5th level, she's going to get an option to use a pommel strike with her sword because it's a long sword. You can do pommel strikes with it. And if she gets a short sword with a handle that's meant for punching, you can have that, and it's a reduced damage at a quicker speed if you so choose. But the thieves and the clerics don't advance as fast and cool as a fighter. Connell is going up the fucking 2-weapon fighting style, and his to hit isn't quote unquote that great, but he's getting better.
Yeah.
And I don't like using strength as a to hit bonus. I like using dexterity and intelligence. You get those two. If you have a really high strength and intelligence, you get a really high fucking to hit. Supernaturally high. Okay, that's fine. That's great. A lot of people don't want to play like that. I want to play like that. I want that because you got to have the smarts, you have to have the accuracy. If you don't, you don't hit.
Yeah.
The strength is
And
there to help you stay mobile and not get fatigued. The moment you get like I'm encumbered, oh, we're gonna have fun. No, you're not.
it's like I knew I liked Sword and Sorcery's rules for that, but I also enjoyed the Besom I the third edition Besom rules. Most of the game is book is crap, but it introduced it put a lot of you still had the passive ACs that you had in third edition and 3X, but it introduced it introduced like three new skills, which were your range, which were pretty much translates to range defense, melee defense, and attack. You know, so you could actually it got rid of base attack, so you just lose base attack. Like that goes in a dumpster, and you got like every class gets more skill points. Not all, not enough for everybody, but if you wanted to choose to play, like so, you had to spend points to continue as you leveled to gain more attack, gain more defense, and that allowed you to have an active defense. The thing was, I found that active defense does slow the game down a lot if players are playing through the traditional group fights as a group together. It does slow things down unless the players do things to minimize the number of rolls, which either means players go out there and go, "Hey, this fight's my fight." You know, they pulled a shonen anime thing. They go, "This fight's my fight. I'm going to fight this dude," and the players go, "Okay, this one's yours," and because that's I guess the people I've been around are comic book fans, are video game fans, they are anime fans. That's the thing. I have a lot of anime fans who I play with. So we read a lot of manga, a lot of anime, and so we're used to the idea of no, this is my fight, and they go out there and go get their shit caved in, or their total awesome moment to shine, which I'm like, cool, go ahead. And I know that if I play with different people, not everyone has that mentality, and I can adapt. But I'm used to I I found that it's actually like when you start switching over to a more active offense, active defense system where there's parries, counters, blocks, and other various things. One on one, because I know everyone's like D&D is not a game where you have one-on-one combat. It's group on group combat, and I'm like that's because the game was built for group on group combat. It's meant for small unit army combats. But when you start getting the ability to, what was that?
Skirmish.
It's skirmish fighting. But the moment you start adding in the ability for players to actually actively defend themselves, actively protect, have counters built into it, so that way you're not automatically fucked because, well, I'm sorry, fighter character, unless your caster characters are protecting you, you're useless, which kind of puts the onus to hey, casters, if you don't want the fighter to turn into a pile of ash, you need to actually protect your fighters. Which every caster player goes, why? Why should I? Because they can't do anything to help me. We've made it past 5th level. They have no value besides damage dealing, and well, if I have to roll damage, I've already lost. We've already lost, um, and it's so trying to give more tools for everybody to actually be functional. A, makes everybody valuable, but B, actually takes the group away from having to fight as a mob, because when every single fight just turns into a pile of hobos piling on a bad guy and then stabbing to death with daggers, because that's all you can do, and or it just turns into a big giant orgy of sword swipes and mace bashes, because that's all you can do, because well, I guess they have their line of scrimmage guys and we have our line of scrimmage, and now we have a big giant fucking brawl in this alleyway until one gang wins, and that's what most fights turn into in most games. But as you start shifting away towards a more active defense, more active counters, you can actually go, hey, this is a 1 to 2 person fight. The party should be able to pick amongst themselves which 1 or 2 people they're going to let go into that fight. And it doesn't always happen that way. It doesn't always work. And sometimes the players just go, fuck it. Everyone unload on this fucker right now because we don't have time to play. But I guess it's part of part of this might be my own experience and how I GM and how I run, where players know when it's their turn. When I'm setting up a fight for them, they don't know it's when it finally happens. They know it's their I don't tell them, hey, player 2, this is your fight. No, I've set up the environment and saying, hey, there's something for everyone to do, but the main threat is X. Who's got the counter to X? One player goes, 2 players go, I've got a good counter, but I can play backup for this fight. And 2 players go in there and go, okay, you're lead, I'm support. What about the rest of us? Hold back in case we need you, but I think the 2 of us can handle this. Or maybe we need to fight as a group, but I take lead in this fight. Why? I have the ability to block, defend, parry. You have the ability to spell counter. So if he starts pulling spells, you spell counter. You hold it. Like you keep his spells from blasting us while we hit him to death with our swords and hammers. Okay, I can do that. All right. So you're on counterspell duty. You can do this. I need you to ensure. I need you to go over here and watch that door. Just put your shoulder into it and make sure nobody gets in. Okay, I can do that. And players because now you don't need to have the whole party rocket. You're not playing rocket tag and everybody has to sit there and murder hobo jump and gang pile and gang up on the poor fucker until he's dead. No, you can actually say, hey, I need someone to watch the door. I need someone to 2 people put their shoulders in the door, make sure the guards can't get in here and kill us. You go through the whole thing and everyone goes in and has a cool fight, because now you've made the fight cinematic. You've made it more interesting and dynamic, because now you can have because nobody's a weak link. You don't have that one character who goes, well, I guess I'm useless. I'm here to say kumquat, and then everybody's sorry. I watch your game I watch your game, and and so often what I see is oh god, it's an actual threat. Kumquat, we leave. And I'm like,
yeah.
The teleportation spell, whatever the key word is.
Kumquat.
Kumquat. Okay, I'm right. But I'm sitting here going, have you thought about how I'm sitting here watching, because I'm not a player, but I'm not going to sit there and backseat play from the chat. Say, hey, if you move here, do this. You can actually rechange the odds in your favor and make the fight swing in your favor. You don't have to move, meander, focus on this. Okay, I can sit there and go, and I know I'm coming in halfway through a fight because that's when I get home from work at at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Come in, turn on the game, and go. Okay, they're in the middle of a fight. Of course, they're in the middle of a fight. It's that group. And the fight's a complete total fucking shit show mess. Everyone's freaking out. Half the party's bleeding to death. Someone's dead or dying or being eaten. And I'm sitting here laughing and going, I'm waiting for it. And it's almost like a drinking game. I can almost play a drinking game to the kumquat. And I'm like, there it is. Drink. This fight's too tough. We eject. Poof. Pull handle. Go. And I'm sitting here laughing, going, this is exactly what it is. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. That's exactly my proudest moment. I feel accomplished when I do make the party run away. I feel really good. But like, it just kind of pisses me off that they run away and then they hide for 3 weeks. Oh, you gotta recharge, buy stuff, blah 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 blah. And then like, oh, I gotta craft. And like, I'm just gonna take your fucking territory. It's a war effort. Like, you're just losing fucking towns and property. Everything is mine. Like, you're down to 2 fucking towns now. And I want to do that, but at the same time, I'm like, if I push too hard on this, I probably will lose my group.
Yep.
But at the same time, if I'm realistic with it, I think most of them will see like, oh shit, we shouldn't bail out every time we have that. Like today, we ran into some vampiric mists during game. For up to me, we would have stayed and killed them. Yeah, well, one of them, the one that they fought, the first time they fought it, like they hit it with fire and it retreated because it's vulnerable to fire. And it waited for them to go down this path and get to this huge 50-foot tall, like, wall of knives, real sharp rocks, and the players were going up them. Nobody fucked themselves up on it because they were doing pretty well. And the vampire mist waited until the bard was climbing up. And then it fucking just like attached to the bard and sucked on his asshole, dropped him like 12 fucking cleric points and 12 fucking con points. He's like got like a 4 con right now. No, excuse me, a 7 con.
Yeah.
He's not in any healthy shape. Janet's about the same damn way. Both of those two are both like seriously fucked. And it's fine. They should live. Should live. Should. But Janet has she's got a cleric character and she can cast Lesser Restoration on one person, one time per person a day. So incrementally, getting back up like maybe a D4 plus exploding dice, don't forget. And the party's kind of healing up a little bit. That vampiric mist like fled because it got cornered and got down to like out of the 35 hit points it had, it lost 32 of them. So it's like, nope, gotta go. And the party didn't have all the means necessary to get rid of an incorporeal fucking monster. And it worked out for both, but like I gave the party a good chunk of XP, and now they're fighting at a fucking temple for fucking for goblins. And this fight could turn like into Goblin Slayer episode 1 real fast.
Yeah, it's okay. Then again, I'm okay with that. But I'm also not a normal person who's a normal player. So, I mean, I accept that. No lies. But depending on the day, I might actually be playing. There's my stinky armor man.
And I'm trying to, push on him like, hey, listen, your armor's absorbed some damage. You don't take as much, but your armor will need repaired later.
Yeah.
So that was something I think you really liked from the beta test you played.
Yeah. Because the thing here is that part of what I was kind of going at earlier with the whole active passive defense, where if I would like to see the is there a way to, as you level up as a fighter, to be able to get more more use out of your armor? So like, say the basic armor absorbs 4 points of damage. I'm picking a number out random. I've got a pseudo armor that can absorb 4, but as I get more combat, higher level and more training, an ability to say push that 4 into a 5, into a 6, into a 7, where it's still if anybody else wore it, it's a 4, but because I'm really good at my armor, it's a 7.
Yeah, I think that's something I'm going to be putting into the game. You remember the fighter ability Armor Training 1, where you can run at 30 feet a second, 30 feet every 6 seconds with chainmail or medium armor?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be one of the things I package with Armor Training 1, where like you're not only able to run, but you're also able to maintain your armor better. So you're going to get like an extra like 20% more armor points out of every armor that you put on within that specialty. So like light and medium armor, you're going to get more AP out of it. It'll still have the same amount of DR. That's not going to go up, but it'll actually have a higher amount of armor to be able to last longer because you're wearing it. You know how to angle it.
And I wouldn't but I would also wouldn't mind having a where I'm the ability to trade in other abilities where you're trading in more more of your offense abilities for the ability to get a better DR out of it, get a better DR return out of your gear. So the idea of I'm choosing as a player to do less damage or do have less tricks, but to have a greater endurance. So yeah, I'm going to feel it, but take more, or have the idea of, I don't know. I'm just spitballing right here. This is just an idea. I'm just throwing it out. I say I wanted to go with where is so you have the armor has it's lethal it's lethal damage barrier where I'm just spitballing 5. Say the armor blocks 5 damage of lethal whatever lethal damage is. Sorry, I'm going into storyteller for a second there, and then having the ability to have like an extra 2 or as you level up the ability 2 or 3 points where it's bruise damage instead, it's subdual damage instead of lethal damage. So you're still taking the damage, but it will heal fast. It'll heal up faster, or you'll be able to recover quicker from the hits. Lethal still lethal, but subdual, is still the gain it back, point per hour type thing. Because I still like old healing skills. I'm sorry. I don't care what new rule systems say. I'm still a huge fan of 1 hit point plus con modifier a day healing. I don't give a shit what new systems have. And I do like subdual damage still being 1 hit point per fucking hour. Sorry, you got beaten senseless. You don't get to heal back because you took a nap. No. God, no. And so, sorry, that's the one thing that even though I play other games, I've run through time, as we've moved through the generations and various versions of the game, and even in the Pathfinder 2E, I still hold tight to you gain back a very small amount of hit points per day. If you get beaten senseless, sorry, you're gonna spend some time laid up in I'm laid up in a med shack. You're gonna want some time. But doesn't that make it really bad for high level characters to get beaten down to no hit points? Yes. I'm sorry, you're going to be in a full body cast that's bloodstained, and the doctor's going to come in there and periodically, poke your cast and go, I see you're healing pretty good. I'll be back in a week. See ya. Nurse, pour the nutrient potion down the straw. Glug, 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 glug. That will keep you alive for the day. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll begin therapy in a week.
Remember your protein shake. It will keep you alive.
You know, in a week when your bones have mended enough to take you out of the body cast, you get to eat your Jello and tasteless chicken. And the nurse goes, "It's time for physical therapy." "I don't want to go to therapy." "You need therapy." "It's gonna hurt." "Of course, you're regrowing all your skin right now." "Yes, it's going to hurt." Everything hurts. That's called dragon breath. Breath you should have stood there and gotten hit full face on. If you just paid your cleric, my cleric is in the body cast next to me. Hi. It's like you should have kept your priestess alive better. And priestess, "I'm okay over here. Don't worry, tomorrow I'll cast a spell." Ow.
If I can do this reflex save, which the DC would be 10 plus level of spell, if I can make that, and plus my own dexterity modifier, if I can make that save, then I can cast the spell of healing and posture myself to receive the blessing and maybe take some of the pain away. If not, I just take 4 points of ow damage because I just hurt my spleen and I think I'm bleeding from my asshole again.
Nurse, I tried to heal myself, dumbass. I'm stupid. Yes, you are. Now we're gonna now just sit back in your medical bed and watch The Price is Right like everybody else. Yay!
God, I tried watching that not long ago, and
It's terrible now.
it is horrible. Like, what the fuck? Bob Barker should be turning out. There should be like freshly churned earth where Bob Barker's resting place is.
I know. But don't worry, we're playing a fantasy game. Bob Barker never got old. He's still a host of our fantasy Price is Right. Your character
and Betty White is sitting on the edge of a pier feeding alligators at Lake
That's Placid. Right. Like, so when your character's in recovery, enjoying their 3 weeks of vacation, they'll get their saltine crackers, their 7-Up, and their Price is Right with fantasy Bob Barker, who's an elf, so therefore he's immortal, and he will always be hosting the show. I'm sorry. In my head, my fantasy world is very weird, and it's okay. Remember to spay and neuter your fighters. You don't want more.
I tell you what, not spaying and neutering our fighters has ruined Baldur's Gate. In fact, if Baldur's Gate would go on a spay and neutering blitzkrieg with their fighter guild, could you imagine how many drunken sleuths would not get pregnant next year?
I know. Just remember to control the homeless. To control the homeless martial population. Spay and neuter your fighter today. And it's like, because it's just the dumb idea of what's going on, and I might increase it a little bit, to make it so that way it's not you're laid up for 6 months after one fight, but magical healing's a thing, guys. You have it. Everything's got it, so you might as well use it if you don't want to be laid up. But then again, I like the idea of shit hurts. I also like, but that at that point I also would pull from Wheel of Time, the Wheel of Time RPG, which was a fantastic game, and where healing didn't, like, all healing did in that game was turned all lethal damage into subdual damage. So you might have taken, 70 points of lethal damage. The healer walks over to you, casts their heal spell on you, and now it turns into 70 points of subdual damage. You're still going to be bruised for the next 4 days, healing, as it goes away at a rate of 1 per hour. But hey, you know what? You're up and fighting again in a couple days. You're not up and fighting, you know, we're not playing Chumbawamba's tub thumping the fight, every fight. Where, hey, our fighter got knocked down, then he's healed, then he's knocked down, then he's healed, then he's knocked down, then he's healed. Where one of the fucking I hate the fact that the meta for being a healer in D&D 5e is, and hell, it even dates back to older, to third at least, in the Pathfinder, which was simply, you don't heal anybody until they drop. And then you heal them with the lowest spell possible to bring them back to 1. You don't heal, you don't overheal, because the villain's going to hit for all the hit points possible. And then they're down, they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down, they're up. So that's mostly 5th edition. And where it's like, wait, that's all you're doing is, well, yeah, he's got to cast 1 heal spell and it brings him to 1 hit point. Now they're back, the fighter stands back up and keeps on fighting. And it's like, that's optimally healing. I'm like, that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Yeah, there's spells that do all this other stuff, and it's like, oh no, you killed the character but by overfilling their death pool, and you just cast this 1 spell, and boom, now they're back. As 1 little spell, and boof, they're back because they only died less than 6 seconds ago, so this spell still is. Boom, they're back. What? I hit him for 80 points of damage. Yeah, he's at negative 90. Back. Fuck. Back. I could do this all day. Fuck. And like, it so hurts. Hey, that's cool. You're thinking that. I'm glad you're thinking that way, and that's a nice way of doing it, because that works well. If you can keep the damage down, so that way they can actually, not need to be healed that much per fight, that would also be cool. I don't know. I would have to read their system and actually, dig into it, and then put it on top of the pile of things I have to learn and read. Dear God, my reading list. I'll get to it. I will get to it. I will enjoy it. But no, it's just one of those things where there's so many tweaks that can be done to make the game feel better. Less, like, I know it's getting away from what everyone knows, but this is definitely a your mileage may vary moment, but you might be surprised where it ends up. You might like the game it turns into. I know I have beaten third edition so badly, where it's, I guess, the version of 3.x that I run is the English language of gaming, where it periodically goes over and beats the French and Germans up for more words. Where I've beaten up so many other games to get the mechanics that work for in other games, and then merged it into the game that I run, to the point where it's not really 3rd edition anymore. It's not Pathfinder. It's just its own thing. Would I be able to sit down and go, what is every custom rule? And then I'd be like, let me just rewrite the whole fucking book for you. And it wouldn't be a game that most people would recognize when they sat down. Well, they'd recognize it. It still has hit dice and levels, and the saving throws are still there, and some of the classes still functionally look the same, except they don't. And they function mostly the same, except they don't, because I like Legend of the Five Rings too much. I liked playing Seven Seas too much. I liked Wheel of Time too much. I liked playing World of Warcraft, the role playing game, too much. I liked Weird Wars far too much. Dear God, I liked that game way too much for being a 3.0 game engine. I'm game engine based game, but it gave me tanks, fighter planes, and battleships. How can I not like this thing? I liked Dreampod 9 and their attempt to move their two books that they produced that had heavy gear in D20. Oh my God, that was a fun book. I have so many books, and I love Traveler T20. That was their attempt to make. They put out a whole bunch of books actually for it. That it's not Traveler, but it's Traveler in D20. It didn't have a life path system, but if you wanted battle armor, tanks, tech levels, and other shit, if you wanted to have adventures in the universe, but you had levels instead of career paths, and you didn't really have a way to earn new skills on the side. So it was kind of a trash game, but it introduced new concepts that I could steal and put into other games. I'll never run T20. No, I I hate it. For being Traveler, it's trash. For being a D20 game, holy shit, this is a data mine. It's a fucking holy grail of equipment, because now I have all the fucking the anagathics, all the tech level gear. I have lasers, I have stunners, I have shotguns, I have vehicles, computers, starships, weapons. Holy crud. This is everything you need to run a sci-fi game, to the point where I'm like, do not ever look at, like, whenever I see this one guy who I talk to a lot too much, and he's like, I play D20 Modern. I'm like, put that game down. Put it down, light it on fire, and back away. That book is trash. Here's a pile of books that are better. And the best part is if you buy this book, T20, you now have options to grab everything that Traveler has ever written. Every starship, every manual, every guide, everything, and then conversion rules to do it. Catalyst Labs gave a book that translates how to put BattleTech and Shadowrun in D&D. And suddenly I'm like, you did what, mate? What? Now I have rules now? Oh, thank you. Because now I can go harvest those. Pathfinder released their the tech manual for their fucking Iron and Gods thing, the steampunk spaceship high tech part of Galarian. That was it's not Starfinder. Starfinder's trash. Fuck that game. But it had cyberware and BioWare, things that had analogs in other games. And suddenly I had now a price matrix to be able to move things around. I now have crafting rules. If I steal from Besim, I have active defense rules. If I steal from Legend of the Five Rings, I have the ability to have EI Jitsu duels that are fucking lethal. Dear God, I loved the idea that we had EI Jitsu in D&D that could be actually done now, and it actually functions. And if anybody gets a chance to stare down someone's like I'm a high level character, I can somebody stares you down, like, and has their hand on their sword in the sheath, they look at you funny, and they stare, and you stare back, and you have no idea what's going on. They roll, and then you split in half. What? They just roll enough damage that you died. Why? Because you didn't know what was happening, and he did. And he's click, slice, did. And it was such a cool mechanic, and I love it. It's cool because that one's also, you focus, you keep focusing. It's got a stat it bases on, and the damage multiplier keeps going up as it works, and dice are being added. and then it comes down to a check. It's like when somebody goes call, and now it's a check, and depending on how bad you roll is how bad you die. And it's like, oh, he rolled better than you by a small margin. You're gonna live. You rolled bad, really bad, and he hit you really hard. You turn into a red mist and died. It's an amazing way of. Is it the best system? No. Is it a functional, good system that works? Yes. I fucking love it because it means a 10th level character can one shot another 10th level character if they have a round or two to stare, have a stare down. And it's like they have quick draw, they have EI Jitsu, and they're looking at you and they're focusing and they're sitting here going, and you're like, you can sense the murderous intent. He's going to kill you. What do you do? I apologize and back away. Smart. No, I'm going to roll intimidate and I'm just going to stare him down, and he just looks at you funny and wonders why you're trying to intimidate him. I'm just going to. He strikes. What happened? You died. Well, what? He rolls about 142 points damage with one strike. What? He just cut you down. You're a barbarian. He cut you down. You died. But this is D&D. I had to. Okay, you lived, right? You have enough hit points, right? Yeah, make a fortitude check. He just took more than 50 points damage in one round. Roll your fort save or die. What's the DC? Super fucking high. You're dead. Just accept your death. You pissed off the wrong guy. Can I learn that skill? Your next character can.
That's fucking classic.
It is. And I did it to a player. He was all being all boisterous and shit, and he decided to piss off a crane. And the crane just kind of looked at him funny. And he's playing a big Western character, big swinging dick, And I'm sitting there going, the crane looks at you. He focuses. And I'm counting that 6 seconds pass. He's just staring at you. Well, I'm just going to insult him. 6 more seconds pass. I continue. 6 more seconds pass. I'm a bolsterous motherfucker. I'm going to get up in his face, and he strikes. And the guy's head comes off. Just dead. Fucking just, I'm like, you died. And I went through, I rolled the dice out and did a thing, and pretty much said, you died. You died. And he's like, what? But I'm a 12th level character. He killed you. He's a high level crane character. He's your level. He could kill you. What did he use? EI Jitsu strike. Fucking bull. Yeah, I know. But I had the 7 Seas D20 role playing game. That gives you parries. Boy, is there's parries. And through that, I had one player who was fun doing the Errol Flynn fucking dueling shit. And that's where between the L5R players and the 7 Seas players, most of my players were like, no. This is a fight between 2 people. They're having a nice fight. We don't get involved. Why? Honor is at stake. Like Japanese honor? No. Spanish honor. No. He has to go fight you. And it's like, it was fun watching, a samurai and a Spanish duelist having a sword fight. A rapier versus katana fight. And there's blades flashing, sparks going everywhere, and it was fun as fuck getting to describe this fight. And it was a fun watching these players get to describe this fight because everybody was getting into it because everyone was an L5R player. Sorry, a third of the players were L5R players. A third of the players were 7 Seas players. A third of them were D&D players. The D&D players were the ones who overrode everybody else because it was first past the post games where everybody wrote down the game that they wanted to play. It was frickin' D&D. And it was D&D 3rd edition. And it's like, so there's 3 games we're going to play. Put the game that you want to play first, second, and third. And D&D ended up getting more points. And we ended up playing D&D because the D&D players didn't want to play 7th Seas, and they didn't want to play the L5R, but they were willing to cooperate. So we just played this merging. I just merged it all together like a goddamn deck of cards, ran it, and it turned out to be fan-fucking-tastic. It was a good, fun game, but everybody was just like, no. This is a sword fight. You don't get involved in somebody else's sword fight. Like, we've watched enough pirate flicks. We know enough swashbuckling shit. You don't get involved in somebody else's fight unless you're going to go Pirates of the Caribbean, and then you get like maybe 3-4 people tops in a sword fight. But what about the spell fights? The spellcasters are off doing their own spellcasty thing, and they got their own fucking shit to worry about. They don't need to worry about what us sword checkers are all doing over here, having our cutting ropes and going flying up into the mast work as as the yard arm drops, and or they're sitting here chandeliers are kicking up tables and using chairs, fighting along things, using the walls and gates into their advantage. They're all having fun because they're having a chance to be what they are. The archer player is having fun going, I'm waiting for a clear shot. God damn it, the sword fight's too close and intense. I can't take the shot. I could take the shot, but I have to increase the DC, the AC by 10 to make the shot. And these are two highly skilled characters with high defense scores. I'm not going to make that shot. I need one good shot, but I'm not going to get that one. So he's sitting here going, well, fuck it. I'm going to turn my arrows. I'm going to turn my bow against the reinforcements who are going to get involved in the fight. Thump, 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 thump. He's laying down suppressive fire to keep the guards from getting involved. He's found a use for himself because he could just waste shots and fire at the main bad guy, but why? He can do more elsewhere. The sorcerers are busy elsewhere. The Shugenja are busy elsewhere. Everyone's got a job, but the main focus is on those 2 to 3 people who are swinging swords and having a good time. And the whole story is being fun. And I loved it. And it was a great time. And then we got the Bezim D20 game, which only codified the active defense, the active passive defense skills. And we were like, well, fuck, this is great. And because that also gives the ability to spend character, to earn character points by sacrificing XP to gain character points. Suddenly we had a way to grab powers from other games that had point costs. And now, so you want to gain powers outside your class or outside of your abilities and gain some special cool things? Well, now we got a way to do it. And suddenly my players start going, wait, we can do cool things? And then I realized, oh shit, this is so close to the point cost to buy exalted fucking tricks. Oh my god, they're starting to go, wait, I can introduce essence scores, I can introduce charms. Okay, and now the game gets more awesome and it became more fun. And my players were loving it because I was adding things to make their life not harder, more interesting. If they wanted to step outside the box of the core rule book, they could. They could become cool. They could become awesome. I found rules to make custom weapons. And I'm like, do you want to make custom weapons that are just for your own tricks? And they're like, yeah, I want a sword that's, I want a whip sword. I want a grappling hook gun. I want all this stuff. Like, others like, yeah, I want this. Like, one player wanted to have a staff that, a spear that, that could shrink down or grow bigger so they can fight with either various weapons. It was such a, they developed their own tricks and cool weapons and cool things. And I kept giving them more toys to experiment with. I didn't use them unless my players used them. So once my players started using the tools, I'd introduce a concept, go, hey, here's a bad guy who's got a cool, unique weapon. He's a combi weapon. It can do multiple things. And that teaches you, hey, players, you can do this. And then the players go, I don't want to do it. And then you retire it. Or I embrace that. And now I go, you're embracing it. Now I can use it. And it's one of those fun things. And it's like, this all grew up over time. And I miss that group. That was almost a decade and a half of just those players who were awesome players. But life eventually happened. And one by one, everyone left because, well, we got older. People got married, had kids. They all left. And eventually it just became a few people who were going, we hung out. And that's when the school came in. And I got to continue to play with those guys. But I had to scale back all the rules, all the custom weird ass rules, and go back to square one, and then slowly reintroduce them again. To go, hey, new players who don't know anything, here's tricks to make the game fun. And new people adopted things in different ways. So some players go, old group fully embraced everything. They loved where I was taking it. Some of the players in the new kids, in that first crop of kids, they really embraced certain things, but ignored other parts. So I went, okay, the rules now adapt to what these people want. And then they went off, they graduated school, went to college, then went to graduate school, and then they all faded off into their thing. But new kids came in, and they learned some of the rules, and they learned tricks, and I introduced them, and some of them go, that's too much for me. And so the rules kept on changing and being things. So at somewhere deep down, I have an overly complex, totally rebuilt, it looks like D20, but it's not, horrible system that somebody would go, oh, fuck, I don't want to play this. And I'm like, but don't you, like, why not? And it's like, there's too much freedom. And I'm like, I understand. Where are you comfortable? I am comfortable going full all out. But where are you comfortable at? And I'll run where you're comfortable at. I don't know, I won't be the world's happiest, but I'm willing to work. I'm willing to cooperate. I'm willing to give you what you need to play the game that you want to play, to have the character you want to play and the fun you want to enjoy. I'll tempt you with things. I'll hint at there's a greater world out there. There's so much cooler stuff out there. You just have to grasp it. Or you could be comfortable and not do anything. You can be back in your box. And I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with that, but I'm okay with that. Because I would like to do more, but if the players say, nah, we're okay being in granny gear, we'll leave it in granny gear. And I'll push all the cool shit off to the periphery where you don't need to see it. It's all happening. It's all there, but you don't have to deal with it. And every once in a while, somebody really awesome will step into the world through your world, show you that the world is way bigger, way more awesome than the world that you're in, and then they'll step out of it. And you can look out the hole where he passed through and go, can I go out there? You were always allowed to go out there. You were always free to go out there. Or you can go, no, I like my box. I'm going to stay in my box because I'm comfortable in my box. It's safe in here. And I'll be like, all right. And then I'll put the lid back on and go, we'll continue to play the game that you're ready to play. When you're ready, the rest of the world exists. And it's full of guns and horrors and terrors beyond your like it's almost that quote where you got to see it where where Jakar is telling Sakai about the idea of like the world's full of the universe is vast and full of wonders, and I'm glad for that. Like it's along those lines where it's like, yes, when you're ready, the universe is out there. You just got to go out there and figure out that you can do this. You can go. I'm just not going to push you. Well, I'm going to push you, but I'm not going to throw you out into it, because otherwise I'm going to have to sit down one day and write down every house rule. Oh dear God, that would be a nightmare. And I'm not sure which version of the house rule I'm on anymore. because the house rules have changed numerous times. Because again, new group, new concepts. And I know if I was to run for certain people, they would go, I don't understand the concept that you're running by me. And I'll be like, how do you understand it? And then I'll just relax and go, all right, these people are cool. These people are cool but old fashioned. Or these people are cool and need some nudging. Because I will constantly forever nudge, because eventually everyone does want to get out of the box. It's just at what rate do I push? And I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's your decision.
It is.
Khy, we've almost hit the 4 hour mark. I'm not trying
That's what I'm about to say. I'm sorry.
It's 1 o'clock, and I'm feeling the fatigue pretty much hitting me smack dab.
I have to. I've got early stuff tonight in the morning, so
Yeah, tomorrow at 10 a.m. 10:30 probably we're going to be getting together for a get together for Babylon 5. We're going to watch a couple more episodes of that. Around noon, we in Discord we're watching this show called Spaceballs. It's a little movie.
It's a little movie.
And then around 2, me and Janet go live with a girl, a guy in the movie for Spaceballs.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that. And I hate these hours on Sunday, but I need to sleep in the afternoon, like real sleep, like zonk out sleep. Seriously, pass the fuck out sleep. And today was a nice, exhausting day. Fuck, I loved it. I loved every minute of this. We had a hell of a game, and I once again want to thank my players: Crafting Gamer, Flady1, Janet from Another Planet, Six Nation 31 Kings. And I want to thank the chat, of course. If you guys have any questions or are wondering about the game that we play, it's in the Discord that we have for this. It's called beta test. It's not really beta test, it's more an alpha test, but we're trying to push, see where it falls apart at. I don't think it really quote unquote falls apart. I don't really see how it could fall apart, although it might. I do want to put in some new things in the game as the players continue to improve themselves. Some ways to expand your character's limitations. I think that's just something that I think every DM wants to help players overcome, or at least make it seem like their game could possibly gain a few more edges, which might seem quote unquote unfair. I'm okay with that. The players deserve to be heroes, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't deserve to have nemesises that have the same abilities as them, but they should feel like big damn heroes. And I think that's kind of important in gaming. Khy.
Yep.
Appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you for letting me bounce ideas off you. Thank you for being here and being so spirited. Once again, everybody, if you get a chance to check out Khy's Musings in Discord, it's in the same channel, the same name. He really goes out and explores around the periphery of gameology and theory crafting. So give that a look. We're going to be back here.
Feel free to ask questions. I will answer them. It gives me a direction to think, and that's honestly what I need, is a direction, because otherwise it's just pure chaos up here.
Well, ladies and gents, you heard the man. Have yourself a great evening. And
see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Next week is Easter. Me and Janet may or may not. We'll discover if we're going to be running next Sunday or not, but we'll just see. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.